Honored members, I welcome you to the second sitting, today being on Wednesday, this afternoon. And Clerk, can we take on of the business?
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Thank you, honored members. Honored members, the Office of the Speaker has received a letter dated 14th December 2022, and it reads, honored members, it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you to today's afternoon sitting. I have a communication to make relating to a letter my office and the office of the clerk received during today's morning sitting. And honored members, this letter arrived at 10:07 a.m. and already the assembly was sitting by 10:02. I can confirm that my office and the office of the clerk is now in receipt of a letter dated 13th December 2022, reference number CAM/KM/MGA/2022 by Mutuma Gichuru and Associate Advocate for Our Excellency the Governor, and addressed to both the clerk of the County Assembly and the Speaker, which letter was received by both offices at 10:36 a.m. and 10:07 a.m. respectively. Reading as follows. 1, the Speaker. It was addressed to the Speaker, and then the Clerk County Assembly, the Speaker County Assembly of Meru, and then to the Acting Clerk County Assembly of Meru. Dear Sir, reference. Notice and invitation to respond and appear before the County Assembly for the motion or removal from office of the Governor, Meru County, Honorable Kawira Muswanda, by impeachment. We represent the Governor of Meru County, Our Excellency Honorable Bishop Kawira Muswanda, who has placed before us 2 notices, both dated 6th December 2022, together with the notice of motion for impeachment dated 5th December 2022, with instructions to respond as follows. 1, we have no doubt that you are aware that find a well-reasoned ruling delivered on 30th November 2022, the High Court sitting in Meru, in Constitutional Petition E024 of 2022, Honorable Kawira Muswanda was the Speaker County Assembly of Meru, and another issued conservatory orders prohibiting the County Assembly of Meru from discussing, debating, or in any other way whatsoever dealing with the impeachment motion against the petitioner, then scheduled for debate on 30th November 2022. 2, you are also aware that the main petition is still pending and active before court and is now straightened for mention before the Honorable Judge on 25th January 2023 to confirm compliance. 3, we further take note of your one standing order number 90 of the Meru County Assembly standing orders, which expressly prohibit any other member from discussing or even making reference to a matter that is actively pending in court, as the same is deemed to be subjudiced since a discussion of church matter as a likelihood to prejudice its fair determination. The same standing order is coerced in the following terms. Subject to paragraph 5, no member shall refer to any particular matter which is subjudiced or which, by the operation of any written law, is secret. 2, a matter shall be considered to be subjudiced when it refers to active, criminal, or civil proceedings, and the discussion of church matter is likely to prejudice its fair determination. 3. In determining whether a criminal or civil proceeding is active, the following shall apply. A, nothing that is written. P, nothing is written. C, civil proceedings shall be deemed to be active when arrangements for hearing, such as setting down a case for trial, have been made until the proceedings are ended by judgment or discontinuance. 4. Take notice that the intention and effect of the conservatory orders issued by the Honorable Court on 30th November 2022 was to preserve the subutrum of the main petition so as to give the court a chance to hear and determine the weighty constitutional issues raised in the petition, and particularly touching on the interpretation and application of Article 181 of the Constitution as specifically read out in the petition before the Honorable Court to wit. Whether in exercise of this, its powers under Article 181(1) of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Government Act, the County Assembly can commence impeachment proceedings before the lapse / expiry of 24 months after the election of the governor. In the right of the glaring loopholes in respect of the time frame within which impeachment proceedings ought to be initiated for removal of the county governor, whether Section 33 of the County Government Act should be learned together with Section 27(4) and 5 of the Act with the necessary modification in as far as the period within which to initiate. Impeachment proceedings. Whether impeachment proceedings can be initiated more than once during the term of the elected governor. Whether the impeachment motion for a duly elected governor can be initiated shortly after elections end or within 3 months upon assumption of office. It is in light of the foregoing reintroduction of the impeachment motion, which validity finding determination in court becomes offensive to the very county assembly standing orders that govern your procedures and proceedings. Similarly, proceeding with the impeachment process would amount to ingeniously perpetuating the very mischief meant to be cured by the conservatory orders of the Honorable Court. It is based on the above that we have been instructed to write as we hereby do, seeking that the debate of the proposed impeachment motion stated for the 14th December 2022 be ordained forthwith. Else, proceeding with the same shall be deemed as contempt of court, which shall attract appropriate legal action against any contemners who shall be held personally liable. You are Swedi Frame, Elias Mutuma Gishoro, and associate. And the letter is copied on our members to 1. Honorable Dennis Kiogora, DMK, AMC Avogeta West Ward, and Minority Chief Whip, County Assembly Romero. 2. Mudomi and Karanja Advocate, P.O. Box 209, Hapwood and Amsakit. Telephone number 254-20-246-74, P.O. Box 1983, Nairobi. Email information at mudomikaranja.com. And 3, it's copied to the Deputy Registrar, Meru High Court, Constitutional and Human Rights Division. Honour members, having considered the aforesaid letter dated 13 December 2022, reference number CAM/MCAs/KM/MGA/2022 by Mutuma Gichero and Associate Advocate, The advocate for Excellency, the Governor, I now proceed through as follows. Both the right to a fair hearing in Article 50 and the right to fair and administrative action under Article 47 of the Constitution guarantees individuals the right to administrative action that is expeditious, efficient, lawful, reasonable, and procedurally fair, as well as the right to have any dispute in a fair and a public hearing before any dependent or quasi-judiciary body. This in essence therefore means that the right to a fair hearing under Article 50 and the right to fair and administrative action under Article 47 of the Constitution all accrue to the Governor. Honourable members, it is evident from evidence on record that Her Excellency the Governor was duly served with a motion now before the Honourable House. Therefore, sent letter by the advocate on record for Her Excellency the Governor is indeed proof that the Governor is well aware of the proceedings before this Honourable House. The protest letter, or rather the preliminary objection raised by the councils for the Governor on the proceedings being subsidized and in content of the orders issued in petition number E024 of 2022, though noted, cannot amount to stay the proceedings of this county assembly. This is primarily based on the fact that the competence and jurisdiction of the county assembly to hear and determine the question of jurisdiction removal of a governor from office is constitutional and statutory mandate bestowed upon the county assembly and the Senate independent of the judiciary and any other body or person. Indeed, the content of the objection or the preliminary objection by our councils will be best placed by Excellency the Governor or a council or on both in the proceedings of the county assembly to consider the motion for removal from the office in line with the provisions of standing order number 68(1) B and the 69(3) of the county assembly of Meru standing orders. When a similar issue arose during the impeachment proceeding, the then governor for Nairobi City County, the Supreme Court of Kenya, in Honorable Mike Sonko, was the Kira County Assembly of Nairobi City and 11 others, petition number 11E008 of 2022 was categorical that the spheres of jurisdiction, the removal of a county governor is exclusively respond into two legislative arms of the county assembly and the Senate, the representatives of the people. I couldn't agree more. It is therefore by direction that the President motion the House for the removal of the governor county by way of impeachment is properly before the House, and the governor is welcome to respond to the issues and particulars contained in the aforesaid motion in the House, and in line with the provisions of a standing order number 68(1) and 2, 69(3) before a question is put on the same motion. Honourable members, I sound the letter and invite honourable members to make their comments, and thank you. Honourable Ayubu Solomon, Speaker, County Assembly of Meru, dated 14th December 2022. Thank you, honourable members. And at this junction, honourable members, allow at least 3-4 members to make a contribution on the letter that we received from Her Excellency the Governor, Bishop Kawira Muswanda. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Jacob Mwirigi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to react to the message which you have just given us. Mr. Speaker, as per the communication, the advocate Mutuma is acting on behalf of the governor. And Mr. Speaker, we cannot allow this assembly to be micromanaged. Mr. Speaker, we can only accept directions from the court. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I'm in support that we dispense the matter which is on the table to the conclusion. Any other matter which does not arise from the court is null and void according to this assembly, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Jacob Mwirigi. Honorable Mca Kwariria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, I'm Kwariria Muswanda, specially elected by the Devolution Empowerment Party. I'm surprised, Mr. Speaker, that in the line of fair administrative justice, administration of justice, that the council representing Her Excellency the Governor can write such a letter to this Honorable House, especially addressed to you in such a language, Mr. Speaker, saying that we've been contempt of court order, when we well know, Mr. Speaker, that the motion that this House was barred from discussing and voting on, Mr. Speaker, is the motion dated 30th of November 2022. And we respected that court order, Mr. Speaker, sir. Nothing barred this House from initiating another impeachment process, Mr. Speaker. We want to tell the council, Mutuma, that some of us may not be lawyers, but at least we know what the law says. We know what the law requires us to do. So please, Mr. Mutuma, the counsel for the governor, I would urge you to stop misleading the governor and give her the right counsel. Because currently you are misleading the governor and she will go home when you are misleading her. So therefore, I also want to say, Mr. Speaker, that we have respected the court order that came. And this time round, there is no court order that came, only a letter that purports to be in disregard of the court order when there is no court order that came. And the third, Mr. Speaker, and the final one, is that we as a House know that the motion was quashed. The one that we were to discuss on 30th was quashed. Therefore, I don't see any interpretation that we are waiting from the court on 23rd, because the motion that was supposed to be discussed was even quashed. So there's nothing left, Mr. Speaker, to be discussed on 23rd of January by either the court or this House or the side of the executive, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Mwendia. Honorable Jennifer Morocho.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. For purposes of record, my name is Jennifer Makena Murogosho, representing the people of Kwariria Ward. Mr. Speaker, from the contents of those the letter you have read to us, so I'm not a lawyer, the lawyer representing the governor is working out of desperation, and we know the history is there is no lawyer who will tell the client that is getting defeated by anything. There are two things, Mr. Speaker, which I've noted in that letter. The reply of Mutuma's letter, quoting the case of Governor Sonko and how it was ruined. And it has stated very clearly.
Honorable member, that was my response.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, in your response, thank you that you have quoted it very well, Mr. Speaker, that the case of Governor Sonko was ruined, and it was saying that the Assembly has all the mandate to do its work. And when the work finishes from the Assembly, it goes to the Senate. And a case cannot be put until the two houses deliberates on the issue. So my question is, why is this governor's council trying to sabotage whatever we are doing? From your reply, Mr. Speaker, we are finding that we are right on the track, and this one will not shy us off, and we are here to stay even up to midnight until we disperse this matter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Jennifer Morocho. Yes, Honorable Patrick. Then we have then Honorable Morris. Then I'm giving further directions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. For the record, I'm Patrick Mwirigi Mulyoki, representing the great people of Tunene. Mr. Speaker, I'm shocked to hear the response from the letter from the lawyer of the governor. And I'm not a learned friend like him, but it seems to have come from a quack. And this should be noted by the lawyer, if he is one, that there is a difference between the assembly and the court. This is a place whereby we have serious business, and not the place where brokers come in to earn a meal of the day. We are to be respected by let us do our job, and I'm happy today I'm going to do my first job that my people employed me to do, and that is to save the people of Meru from a bad governance.
Thank
Why?
you. Mheshimiwa, can you conclude your remarks?
Mr. Speaker, I'm saying that we stay here until tomorrow, until we impeach Kawira to go home completely. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Morris. Thank you, Honorable Patrick. Morris, now please take the floor and make your contribution 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. For the purpose of record, I am Morris Tarangwe, representing the great people of Kwariria Muswanda. And the one Martin Luther King once said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. It's only light that can drive out darkness. Today, what you are seeing, we were waiting for either the lawyer, either the governor to come in this house and represent our views and even listen to what we are raising, so that they can raise their compliments and they can respond to this impeachment motion. But what we are seeing a lawyer who is acting like a judge. This has never happened. It will never happen, and it will never happen. That's why I say, Mr. Speaker, sir, you have given your nation resident for the decision you have taken today. And if they know law clearly, they know that we are not here by mistake. We are here to make laws for this country. We are here to make laws for Meru County. We are here to make Meru prosper. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Morris. And now, honorable members, with that, then I propose that we take the next on the crack.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motions.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, we have a statement that's supposed to be led by the Indo majority. Evans Mawira Karia, please, the Indo majority. Evans, take the floor. All you have delegated to Honorable Aaron.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm leading this statement on behalf of the majority leader, Honorable Evans Kawira Kairi, the leader of majority party, on the tentative business of the County Assembly for the week commencing Tuesday, 20th December 2022, pursuant to standing order number 45. Honorable members, pursuant to the provision of standing order number 45-2A of the County Assembly of Meru standing orders, this is to present the Assembly business for the week commencing Tuesday, 20th December 2022. The House business will meet on Monday, 19th December 2022 in the Committee Room 108, situated on the first floor of the Assembly Office Block, to confirm the tentative businesses of the week as well as to deliberate and resolve on any other new arising business. Tentatively, the following will be the business of the Assembly for next week. On Tuesday, 20th December 2022 at 10 a.m., number one, we will be expecting a response to the statement number 4 of 2022, and it will be sought by Honorable Joseph Mwanda Idhiri on Wednesday, the 23rd November 2022, from the Chairperson Sectoral Committee on County Health Services on the status of the Hospital Facilities Improvement Fund, FIF, within Meru County to be presented. And this will be done by Honorable Dangras Motea, the Chairperson of Sectoral Committee on Health Services. Number two, motion urging the relevant department in charge of environment and climate change within the executive arm to undertake effective measures, including policy measures of combating climate change through, among others, afforestation to be considered. And this will be done by Honorable Patrick Muredhi, a member of County Assembly of Meru, representing Abodhogochi West Ward. The Honorable Assembly will consider any other business that may be scheduled by the House Business Committee in their proceeding meeting. The House Business Committee will meet immediately the House rises for the purposes of confirming the scheduled businesses of the afternoon sittings as well as the business for the following day. On Tuesday, the 20th December 2022 at 2:30 p.m., that is the afternoon sitting, we'll be expecting a response of statement number 2 of 2022, and it will be sought by Honorable Joseph Mwanda Idhiri on Wednesday, 23rd November 2022, from the Chairperson Sectoral Committee on County Finance and ICT on the operational status of the interest account of the executive arm of the county government of Meru in the financial year 2022-2023 to be presented. And this will be done by Honorable Kareb Motedia Kibuko, the Chairperson, Sectoral Committee on County Finance and ICT. Number 2, for Tuesday afternoon, a motion urging the relevant department in charge of environment and climate change within the executive arm to undertake effective measures, including policy measures of combating climate change through, among others, afforestation to be considered, and will be presented by Honorable Patrick Muredhi, member of County Assembly of Meru, representing Abodhogochi West. That will be the resumption of the debate. The Honorable Assembly will consider any other business that may be scheduled by the House Business Committee in the proceeding meeting. On Wednesday, the 21st December 2022, morning sitting at 10 a.m., we'll be expecting a motion urging the department in charge of early childhood education within the county government of Meru to, among others, undertake the urgent recruitment of additional ECDE teachers for ECDE centers within Meru County in line with the policy directives issued by Ministry of Education to be considered. And this will be tabled by Honorable Felix Kedinji Mwirigi, member of County Assembly of Meru, representing Ruirero Valera Ward, and the Chairperson, Sectoral Committee on Transport, Energy and Public Works. The Honorable Assembly will consider any other business that will be scheduled by the House Business Committee in their preceding meeting. On Wednesday, the 21st day of December 2022 at 2:30 p.m., that is the afternoon sitting, a motion urging the department in charge of early childhood education within the county government of Meru to, and among others, undertake the urgent recruitment of additional ECD teachers for ECD centers within Meru County in line with the policy directives issued by the Ministry of Education to be considered and to be done by Honorable Kithinji Mwirigi, Member of County Assembly of Meru, representing Ruirero Warera Ward and the Chairperson, Sectoral Committee on Transport, Energy and Public Works. That will be a resumption of the debate. And number 2, procedural motion for the adjournment of the House from Wednesday 21st December 2022 up to Monday 13th February 2023, all days inclusive, pursuant to amended first session calendar of the 3rd County Assembly to be considered by Honorable Evans Mawera Karia, the leader of Majority Party. This Honorable Assembly will consider any other business that may be scheduled by the House Business in their proceeding meetings. I thank you all. I wish you members a fruitful deliberations. I hereby lay the statement on the table of this Assembly on behalf of Honorable Evans Mawera Karia, MCA and leader of Majority County Assembly of Meru, representing Mitungu Ward. The presenter is Aaron Duranera, Member of County Assembly of Abogeta East. With your permission, Mr. Speaker, allow me to lay the same on the table.
Yes, sir. Please, Honorable Aaron, go ahead and read. Thank you, Honorable Duranera. I'm very sure the people of Ogeta East have hand out around and clear. Crack, let's take the next order.
Order number 8, motion.
Thank you, honour members. In order number 8, we in the motion proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Governor of Meru County, Honorable Kawira Muswanda. And at this juncture, honour members, this being a resumption of debate on the motion adjourned during our morning sitting, I welcome interested members to continue their debate on the motion. But members, bear in mind that if you contributed in the morning, please, honour members, you cannot contribute to the motion twice. And secondarily, honour members, please let us restrict ourselves to 2 minutes so that we can be able to give each and every member an opportunity to contribute. And I will allow Honorable General Mati to take the floor, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I feel honored this afternoon. I at long last managed to catch your eye after a long struggle in the morning. For the purpose of records, Generals Mate, especially elected by the UDA party. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to support the motion. And on the same breath, Mr. Speaker, sir, this afternoon, my heart is overwhelmed. My heart is aching. My heart is paining at the thought that I'm standing here to impeach or to support a motion to impeach one of my own or a fellow woman. Mr. Speaker, sir, back to supporting the motion, I would want to paraphrase a verse in the Bible, Amos chapter 3, verse 3. God speaking to the people of Israel, questioned them and asked them, can two work together unless they agree? And members, can two work together unless they agree? Working together, Mr. Speaker, sir, in this case, means agreeing on the same direction, agreeing on the direction, agreeing on the course, agreeing on the route to take, agreeing on the destination. And Mr. Speaker, sir, a fellowship cannot be complete without communication. Mr. Speaker, sir, communication is the cornerstone of any or every institution, may it be a governmental institution, a non-governmental institution, the church, the school, all these are organizations or institutions. Mr. Speaker, sir, effective communication is the building block of every or any institution, organization. And that is why, still citing the Bible, God, in the prophetic days, you know, God does, there are times God used to speak to the prophets, just as we are speaking to each other here. Those are the patriarchal days. Would not have done anything, would not have done anything without revealing himself to the prophets. And I repeat, God would not have done anything without revealing his intentions to the prophet. Mr. Speaker, sir, why did I say all this? I want to consider this principle in the light of what is happening in Meru County today, whereby we've seen our governor doing marvelous, doing hilarious things, doing playing mind games on the seated MCA who is elected by the people, going to an extent, Mr. Speaker, sir, of doing illegal appointments in the field carelessly and deliberately. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is a pathetic state of affair. This is a pathetic state of affair. And as I wind up, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would want to liken the character of Governor Kawira Muswanda, whom I'm referring to here as the governor of County Meru, Meru County, who does not communicate, who does not do things rightfully, who does not recognize the want representative who is brought here, courtesy of the people back in the world. I would like to liken her with the biblical Jonah. There was a man known as Jonah in the Bible who was once sent by God.
Honorable Generous,
I'm winding up, Mr.
if
Speaker,
I give
sir.
you more time, you will give 10 quotations of the Bible. So please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you. I'm winding up.
conclude your remarks.
I'm winding up. I want to conclude. Mr. Speaker, sir, because this was my pivotal point. So if I don't put this one, my point will not be driving home, Mr. Speaker, and I'll do it within a second. I'm saying Jonah was sent by God to Nineveh. He refused. Okay, when he refused, the people, he decided to board a ship to a place known as Tarshish. No sooner and he entered and boarded the ship, then the ship was so turbulent. There was a lot of storm. There was a lot of unrest in the ship. And the people boarding the ship felt now we are going to die because the ship was almost capsizing. So they decided to throw Jonah out of the ship. Mr. Speaker, I'm concluding by saying unless we throw the pilot of this ship out of the ship, unless we throw her out of the ship, Mr. Speaker, Meru will continue being turbulence, Meru will continue being arrest, Meru will continue being stormy. And Mr. Speaker, this is the point that Chinua Achebe and reached when he's ascertained when the center cannot hold things for our part. We cannot keep burying our hands in the sand by refusing to face the reality, Mr. Speaker. We cannot continue sweeping under the carpet. The center cannot hold and things are falling apart. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, honourable members. At this juncture, I think I saw the government raising his hand, so let's give the senior member of the Assembly the opportunity to contribute. You know, always when his hand is up, you get the first priority. Evans, Mawira, and Banjority, please take the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I'll start by saying that it is unfortunate that I was tasked with defending the government and bringing the business of the government to this honorable house. The majority leader stands to support the impeachment of one Honorable Kawira Bishop Mwangaza. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I want to say that a popular proverb from the people of Rwanda says, it's better to be a lonely lion than a popular sheep. And Honorable Speaker, I'm saying this because this proverb is usually directed to people who are led by unfamiliar fame to their destruction, Honorable Speaker. Today, as I study, Honorable Speaker, it is true and evident that our governor has flouted so many laws of the land, the Constitution, our standing orders, several acts of parliament, including the Leadership and Integrity Act. And Honorable Speaker, I want to bring to the attention of this House that Chapter 1 of the Constitution talks about the sovereignty power of the people, and all sovereign power is belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be exercised only in accordance with this Constitution, in the Constitution of Kenya. That is Chapter 1, Article 1 of the Constitution. And further, Honorable Speaker, Article 1, Part 2 states that the people may exercise their sovereign power either directly or through their democratically elected representatives. And Honorable Speaker, every member who sits in this House, the 69 of us, both elected by universal suffrage and those nominated by political parties, we have power that has been delegated to us by the constituents of Meru County, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, today what we are doing, we are exercising the power that has been delegated to us by the people of Meru indirectly to say the people of Meru are tired with one Honorable Kawira and she must go, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to give an example, Honorable Speaker, wondering why one Honorable, the Governor of Meru, would go around Meru appointing alternative MCAs in different ones, like it happened in Egoji West, it also happened in Bogeta West, whereas the Constitution is very clear, Honorable Speaker, that power, the sovereign power of the people can either be directly or through, can either be exercised directly or through their democratically elected representatives. Therefore, that is enough evidence, Honorable Speaker, that the governor has grossly violated the Constitution of Kenya and she must go. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, Public Officers Ethics Act 2003, has clearly elaborated on how leaders who are state officers should carry themselves. And for example, Honorable Speaker, to give an example or to read one part of the Public Officers Ethics Act 2003, Part 9, Section 9, Part 1, Honorable Speaker, it states that a public officer shall carry out duties in a way that maintains public confidence in the integrity of his office, treat the public and his fellow public officers with courtesy and respect. And Honorable Speaker, I take Part B, because continuously and throughout the reign of one Honorable Bishop Kawira Muswanda, she has continuously humiliated and disrespected members of this County Assembly, Honorable Speaker, which contravenes the Public Officer Ethics Act 2003. For example, by when he went and humiliated one Honorable Mwenda, the minority leader of this assembly. And furthermore, Honorable Speaker, in the Leadership and Integrity Act, Honorable Speaker, there is a section that talks about bullying. There is Section 34, Honorable Speaker, and I want to read it to this House, Honorable Speaker, just the Leadership and Integrity Act, Honorable Speaker, Section 34(1) states, a state officer shall not bully any person. 2, for purposes of Section 1, bullying includes repeated offensive behavior which is vindictive, cruel, malicious, or humiliating, and is intended to undermine a person. What happened in Akede 1, when the governor invited or demanded that Honorable Muswanda issues an apology for mistakes that he never committed, and also grabbed the microphone from his hands, Honorable Speaker, while he was speaking, trying to explain whatever that he was supposed to issue an apology about was a false. Honorable Speaker, that is directly, that one already, Mr. Speaker, is bullying, it is humiliating, it is cruel, and it is intended to undermine his capacity as an MCA. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, there is another violation, gross violation of the Constitution, which institutes grounds for impeachment of a governor in this Republic, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for matters to do with this act, Honorable Speaker, the Leadership and Integrity Act, Section 35, Honorable Speaker, 1, she breached the Leadership and Integrity Act when she issued instructions to the ward administrators by instructing them, Honorable Speaker, to break the law, because Section 35 states that a state officer contravenes the code if the officer causes anything to be done through another person that would constitute a contravention of the code if done by the state officer, or allows or directs a person under their supervision or control to do anything that is in contravention of the code. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, without saying much, there is a lot of grounds that the Honorable Governor has breached, and therefore, Honorable Speaker, we have no alternative as an assembly, because the same law gives the consequences of breaking the same, and Honorable Speaker, it allows for impeachment if a state officer breaches the Leadership and Integrity Act. Therefore, we are within our rights and powers that have been delegated to say that Honorable Kawira must go, Honorable Speaker. Finally, Honorable Speaker, I want to give a small analogy of the Bible, like what Honorable Generals has been saying, but mine will be just one. Because I'm a Christian and I read the good book of the Lord, Honorable Speaker. In Daniel chapter 5, verse 1 to 25, Honorable Speaker, there was a person called King Belshazzar. King Belshazzar, Honorable Speaker, was the son to King Nebuchadnezzar, who was dethroned because of going against the Lord's wishes, God's wishes. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, when King Belshazzar came into throne, Honorable Speaker, he became drunk of power. Honorable Speaker, his pride was too high. Honorable Speaker, he became arrogant. And this one, Honorable Speaker, is captured by an artist whom I love very much called Bonnie Moitege, who has sung a song that states Safari Bando, and gives an analogy of what King Belshazzar did, Honorable Speaker. So after King Belshazzar, Honorable Speaker, became drunk of power, he threw a huge feast and invited other lords, invited his many wives, he invited his concubines, and in this case, I believe concubines are the praise singers of the governor, Honorable Speaker, and they came and started feasting. Then King Belshazzar, Honorable Speaker, demanded that the cups that were in the temple, that his father and brought to his kingdom, be brought so that they can drink from those cups, Honorable Speaker. It is at that moment that a hand appeared from nowhere and wrote on the wall, Mene Mene Tekel Na Feres. And Honorable Speaker, because there were so many people whom the king invited to try and interpret what the writing on the wall meant, it was only one person who was good and righteous in the eyes of the Lord, who came and was able to interpret what was written on the wall, and that was King Daniel. I mean Prophet Daniel, Honorable Speaker. And when he was asked what it meant, he told the king that it means your time to rule has come to an end. Therefore today, I want to tell Honorable Bishop Kawira Muswanda, Honorable Speaker, being the Daniel, today, I want to tell her, our time to rule Meru has come to an end, Honorable Speaker. Finally, Honorable Speaker, I also want to condemn the appointment of his husband to a public office, Honorable Speaker. Because, Honorable Speaker, honestly, we can't romanticize public offices. Because what was displayed there in the public was romance, Honorable Speaker, by calling the husband Mzito Mzito. We don't know where the Mzito comes from, when appointing him to a public office, which is also a breach of the law, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, in concluding my remarks, Honorable Speaker, I am saying we have enough evidence, we have enough grounds, we have everything, we have the goodwill of the people of Meru, because for the lost glory of Meru to come back and for the dignity of Meru to be restored, Kawira must go. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Evans. The next senior member of the House is raising his hand, and the standing orders are very clear. Honorable Kionga, you are serving your second term. Please allow me to give the whip of the majority party, Honorable Jim Ochui, to make his contribution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Jim Ochui, representing the people of Adwana Ward and the majority whip in this house. And Mr. Speaker, this is a great day for Meru County. And I want to inform this house that I have been sent with very strict instructions by the people of Adwana to make sure that by close of the business today, that the Governor, Faith Kawira Muswanda, will stand impeached. And Honorable Speaker, they have also told me that if I don't support the impeachment of the Governor, I should not go that side in the evening. So I'm here, Mr. Speaker, to support the impeachment of the Governor. And I want to state that the conduct
Honorable Jim.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Even if you don't go back, Governor ni mama, she can accommodate you.
I will be the first one outside her family, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I was about to say that the conduct of our governor does not reflect who the women leaders we have in Meru County, who they are. And Meru has taken pride in itself in producing some great daughter contributions in this country and also in the world. And today, Mr. Speaker, even as we discuss this matter, we want the world and the country to know that Governor Kawira Muswanda is not a reflection of who the Meru ladies are. She's just an exceptional case that should be treated as such. Because, Mr. Speaker, one wise man once said that in every market, there is always that one mad man. And it's not only that man can be, it's not only a man who can be mad, but also a woman. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that today, we are here, and I stand to support the motion because I want us to sanitize the women leadership in this country. I don't want my daughter to be judged by a dictator governor who misused her powers when maybe she'll be seeking maybe a public office. So, Mr. Speaker, by making sure that the governor goes home, we will have helped our future leaders and the women we have today, so that now she does not become a reference every time Alindi maybe seeks a public office. Mr. Speaker, again, I want to say that this House respects women, and we have great women in this House. That's why you realize that the majority in this House are men, but still we have ladies who are elected in various committees as leaders. And I'm saying this so that the Meru County can know and the world can know we don't have a problem with the ladies. We only have a problem with one specific one who is incapacitated and incompetent in her duties, even after being given responsibility. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that to guarantee the Meru people impactful development and sustainable development, Kawira Muswanda must go. For our county employees, Mr. Speaker, to be able to exercise their duties free of intimidation, Kawira Muswanda must go. Mr. Speaker, to restate the dignity of Meru County, which has been respected all over the world, Mr. Speaker, Kawira Muswanda must go. To put an end to the politics of deceit and the malice and the selfish populism, Mr. Speaker, Kawira Muswanda must go. Mr. Speaker, I wish to say that for Kana Governor to be happy, and Kana Kameru to be happy as our governor tells us, Kawira Muswanda must go. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Jim Mushui. Honorable Mca Kwariria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to the motion. For the purpose of record, I am Honorable Joshua Mca Kwariria, representing people of Nadowand. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me start by saying the problem that we are facing in Meru is an issue which maybe in the future we need to rectify. In the voting system of Kenya, the value of vote of even a man, professor, rich or a poor person, the value of the vote is the same. So sometimes, even people who are amount, they might be so many to an extent of picking one of their own to lead them. So in Meru, we fell under that category. So in the future, in ranch, at least we try to improve the voting system so that the value of the votes can count. To start with, the Meru leadership has been ridiculed and the talk of the day across the country. So if we don't save our great Meru, I don't know where we shall be heading to. And to start with, to support the motion, I'm saying that our governor lacks capacity to govern the county. One, maybe she was given a role which is above all other roles she was playing, like removing jiggers from the people. So, taking somebody from removing jiggers to managing development worthy over 12 billion, it seems we laid a very big load on that person. And why I'm saying that our governor lacks the capacity, some of the elected leaders who received very divisive science of politics and they have managed to put them together for the sake of development of our people. One, to start with, is our speaker. He received two very divisive signs, which end in difference of slightly one vote. But you can see the houses, one and united. So that is why I'm saying that our governor lacks capacity even to unite sweepers, leave alone the county. Number two, another person who received also very divisive country is our president, His Excellency Honorable William Ruto. He received almost two sides of the country, which end differences. The vote in between the president who won and those who lost is just 233,000 votes. But up to date, the country is very cohesive united and progressing so well. So that is why I'm saying our governor is lacking the capacity to govern the county and to lead the people of Meru County. What I can liken to our Excellency, saying that she can perform and all the development in our county alone is like an ND teacher saying that you will teach all subject in the school minus teachers and the school perform well. So that is the chorus. Maybe she is trying to sell to Meru people that she can teach a school, perform well, minus teachers and the staff. So something is seriously wrong with our leadership in Meru. That is why I'm supporting the motion that Her Excellency should go home, take care of the family, because she lacks the capacity to take care of Meru resources. Another example which I can give to show that Meru we are not ending in the right direction is that a driver who starts a journey at Meru, when he reaches in Kobo, he collides with a motorbike. When he reaches Chuka, he hit a donkey cart. Before he reaches Runyenjes, he bruises with another vehicle. Before he reaches Nairobi, he hit a bus. So who is wrong? Is it that single driver who is having 5 accidents in single day, or other drivers? So the same case in Meru, our leadership, which is colliding with every elected leader in Meru County, so we can't say the other leaders are wrong. But that one specific who is colliding with all other leaders, something is wrong. That is why we are saying if we allow Meru County to go that way, we are going to mess everything. Last and not the least, our governor lacks connections to bring development in our county. For the last 4 months, I've seen governors from other county, some bring donors, international donors, like the other day I saw a Nyangyong, bring a project worth 13 billion in his county. The other day I've seen the Mudhomi Njoki with the investors from outside the country, bringing development. But our Linda is busy running in the village, giving water pipes to areas where there is no single river or even water to pipe. So, if you cannot connect even with the president, who is just at the State House here in Nairobi, how will you connect with countries like in Japan and America to bring us resources? So, that is why I'm saying that we are lacking, our government is lacking capacity and connections. And last, one.
Honorable, you continue saying last. How many more last do you have?
Just this one, nothing else.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
What made me fear most for our county Meru, if our governor cannot go to State House here in Nairobi to talk to the president, she is addressing president in a public rally. Instead of booking an appointment, they go sit down and make a request to the president to help her where she has a problem. How will she connect us with other countries? Meru want to reach levels of other international counties like those in America. So me, I'm concluding that our governor is lacking that capacity to lead our county to greater heights, and she must go home. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Joshua Kiunga Mediaru. Please, honorable members, allow me to give the leader minority this opportunity to make his contribution. Honorable Muswanda, please take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Muswanda Jwa, representing the people of Akede and the Lindo Minority Party. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that this afternoon I'm a happy man, because this is the day that we are starting the process of installing peace in Meru, and also the process of installing sanity in Meru. Because what, Mr. Speaker, we have been experiencing, it is total drama in Meru County. And Mr. Speaker, I want to congratulate one Honorable Mca Kwariria for the motion, because this motion is crucial in such a time when Mayor was stand ungovernable, Mr. Speaker. So I want to appreciate Honorable Kwariria for such a great motion. And also, Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate honorable members in this House for standing firm and ensuring that they handle or they uphold their roles firmly. Because, Mr. Speaker, one of the greatest roles in this House is oversight. And actually today this is what we are doing, because we are doing oversight. When the governor is incapacitated, Mr. Speaker, it is our duty to remove that governor in the office, and this is what we are doing today. So, Mr. Speaker, I stand here to be a victim of the poor governance by the Meru governor, His Excellency Honorable Kawira Muswanda, because I'm the person who is nicknamed Oliver Ntiwasore, and the governor came into my ward. And because she and the relief fund that she was bringing to the people, she took the advantage of the poor people and the angry people in my ward, and decided that she will incite the people against me. And now she wanted me to apologize. Even myself, I didn't know what to apologize for, Mr. Speaker. But I'm one of the people who apologizes very fast. But for this one, I was not able to apologize. So, Mr. Speaker, this one not to happen to any other leader. We want to say, and myself, I want to support that Kawira must go. The governor must go. Because, Mr. Speaker, if she is in the office, or if she will continue being in the office, this one will happen to another leader in Meru County. And, Mr. Speaker, we want to condemn this act of humiliation, whereby one leader humiliates other leaders. There were 6 balloting boxes that the people of Meru voted. And these boxes, every one of those leaders that were elected deserves respect from the rest of the leaders, because all of us, we represent people. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say that our governor has been vilifying other leaders. She has been humiliating other leaders. She has been inciting for other leaders. And to date, since she was sworn in Meru County, there is nothing that has been happening, because we can't really say that there are development that has been happening in Meru County. Mr. Speaker, having no working relationship in Meru County, because we hadn't had any working relationship in Meru County. Our governor has been fighting all other leaders. She's fighting the MC, she's fighting the MPs, she's fighting the senators. Mr. Speaker, we can't say all other leaders have the problem. But the only governor who is fighting all these other leaders, Mr. Speaker, we can say that she is the one who has a problem. And for Meru to have peace, Mr. Speaker, the governor must go. Because minus governor equals peace in Meru County. If governor goes, then, Mr. Speaker, we are assured of peace. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that our governor is incapacitated. Because, Mr. Speaker, as one honorable member has said, in our Meru County, we don't expect to have foreign investors. We don't expect to have partners coming to invest in Meru, simply because our governor is not seen around in the office. She is always with the Kanaka Mumero there on the ground. And actually what she is doing is just populism politics. Because, Mr. Speaker, so far, there is nothing, there is no tangible development that has happened in Meru. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that our governor doesn't have the capacity to lead Meru County. Recently, there were some investors, Mr. Speaker, who came from European Union. They came to the office of the governor and found that the governor was not in. They came not once, not twice. And finally, they ended up going to Laikipia County, Mr. Speaker. So this is why we are saying Meru County is losing a lot under the governorship of Kawira Muswanda. And today, Mr. Speaker, Governor Kawira Muswanda has to go for Meru to get development, Mr. Speaker. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that the dictatorial leadership in Meru under the governor, because this Honorable House has requested for statement, and those statements have not been responded to. We haven't gotten any statement, Mr. Speaker. We shall not continue having the leader or the governor who is not responding to the House, to the Assembly, and Mr. Speaker, we want to oversight and see how the resources are being used. The Honorable here has said, Honorable Mediaro has said that maybe the governor was given a lot of resources to manage, from maybe 63 million to 12 billion. Is becoming a hard task. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, it is our role and great duty to oversight. So we can't continue having the governor who cannot respond to statements. When statements are written, are requested from the executive, we can't get those statements being responded. Mr. Speaker, we are being accused of cartelism. MCS here, we are being accused of being cartels. And Mr. Speaker, for my case and so many others here, it is our first time in the Assembly. So we haven't gotten any money or any fund so that we can be accused of cartelism, because in case the meaning of cartel in accordance to our governor is being a thief, being a person who has stolen the government resources. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that the governor of Meru must go, and Meru shall get happiness, now the real joy, not the happiness that the governor has been talking about, but the real happiness after Kawira Muswanda has been impeached. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I support the motion to impeach one Honorable Kawira Muswanda. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Leader Minority. You know, the senior members of the House didn't want to speak, and the standing orders, Honorable members, are very clear. Let's give Honorable the Deputy Speaker Ali Muswanda an opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. For the purposes of record, I'm Ali Muswanda, representing the great people of Jwa Ward and the Deputy Speaker. Mine is to appreciate the Jim from Bogota, DMK, for the work well done. And I would also want to appreciate Benson Kreinya. I think they worked in tandem to this point in time. And the last group of people I want to appreciate are the members of this county assembly for your unity, for your purpose, for your strive and determination. We are a generation on a mission of ending the politics of deceit, theatrics, and drama, and lies. We are the people. And I really want to appreciate us that our governor is a master of lies, is master of career killings, on a mission to end the careers of most, and the most painful part of it is the young people in this house. Most of us are too young in politics, and our governor is on a mission to end our careers this early. So at this point, I stand to say, and my sentiment reflects the interest of the people of Jwa, that Kawira has to go. For Meru to progress, Kawira must go. So. And there's a slogan Kawira used to say, to pass across the people, that governor ni mama. I think at this juncture, I'm appointing
Honorable
time.
Deputy Speaker.
Yes.
Please, I think around that direction, please have a seat. Let us not take that direction. Let us not take the Kimiru proverbs. Let us not mix the languages. If you start in English, you end in English. If you start in Kiswahili, you end in Kiswahili. Please. Being guided.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. So as I head, I want to urge this House to remain firm, to remain united until we send the dictator packing. That is my parting shot. And I support the motion with all my body parts and organs.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Muredi. And this junction, Honorable Muredi, please, and any other member who I'm going to allow to talk, please, let's condense our contributions in 2 minutes so that we give more members time to contribute also. You know, I know you represent the people, and you also, you're happy when your people are seeing that you are contributing, and I know your life. So, Honorable Murevi, please take your floor.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, sababu ya fursa hii ambayo umenipa. Nashukuru sana kwa sababu ya kuwa na unasaji wa jicho la kuzungumza. Mheshimiwa Spika, zile lugha tatu ambazo naelewa sana, Kimeru, Kiswahili na Kiingereza, ni bayana kwamba faith ni imani, Kawira, wira ni kazi, mwangaza ni nuru. Ninapochunguza haya mambo kwa kina, imani imekosekana katika hii county. Ninapochunguza tena zaidi, hamna kazi, na nilipoangalia tena hamna mwangaza ila ni giza. Mheshimiwa Spika, nilipochaguliwa na watu ambao natambua sana wa Igembe East, walinipatia wadhifa ambao ni wa kuwakilisha ulindaji wa sheria na kuchunguza jinsi ya utumizi wa rasilimali. Lakini nafahamu kwamba siku ya kufanyani miti yote uteleza, hivi kwamba akiruka kwa mwembe unateleza, akienda kwa mpapai vile vile unateleza. Ikawa vipi kwamba ukienda kule vijijini, Mheshimiwa Spika, tulipokuwa na msimu wa mvua, tumechunguza na tukasumbuliwa sana kwamba sisi hatufanyi kazi, ili hali sisi. Ningependa kusema Mheshimiwa Spika kwamba mimi ile afisi ambayo tunafanya na Mheshimiwa Mwenda ambaye alifanywa masihara pale ya Kidhi, ni jambo ambalo ni uozo wa jamii, hivi kwamba mtu akawa machaguliwa na kura ambazo zilikuwa kura 6, kila kura ina heshima yake. Mimi nikiwa mwakilishi wandi na heshima yangu, Mheshimiwa Gavana akiwa ni gavana vile vile, na heshima uiskumi, ila heshima huja kulingana na matendo. Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kusema kwamba ningependa kuomba radhi kwa jinsia ya kike. Mimi ninaposimama hapa nimebarikiwa na wasichana wawili. Wasichana hapo nilipokuwa na balehe nilikuwa nauliza ungependa kuwa kama nani ukikua. Sasa wasichana wangu jamani, sijui kama nikiuliza mngependa kuwa kama nani mkisoma, Neema ananiambia ningependa kuwa jaji na hakimu. Hivi kwamba jinsia ya kike, Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa tueleze kwa sababu imedhalilishwa. Ukienda Nairobi, ukienda kila mahali katika nchi hii, jinsia ya kike watu imedhalilishwa. Hivi kwamba hata siku za usoni kuleta mahali labda itakuwa jambo la muhali mno, maana watasema kurejelea yule mmoja wetu ambaye tunajua inzi moja anaweza kuharibu mchuzi. Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kusema hivi, kuzingatia katiba, ulinzi wa Kenya yetu ni jambo la muhimu sana, na Mheshimiwa Gavana angejua haya mambo mapema, angeuziba ufa, jamani angejenga ukuta. Ndiposa nasema siku ya leo, sikio la kufa alisikii dawa, na mwimbo wa kujichoma uambiwi pole. Kwa hiyo machache tu, naunga kwa kauli mbiu moja kwamba naunga mkono Kawira Mwangaza apatiwe haki yake ya Christmas specially, aweze kwenda nyumbani. Asante sana.
Aona hapo Mheshimiwa James Mwangathia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. For records, I'm James Mugambi Mungathia, representing the people of Karamawond. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the motion of impeaching our Governor Kawira Mwangaza. Mr. Speaker, as you are already aware, Mr. Speaker, our Governor sent several employees of Meru for compulsory leave, Mr. Speaker. And even, Mr. Speaker, if I read, Mr. Speaker, Article 207, Mr. Speaker, of our Constitution, Mr. Speaker, allow me to quote, Mr. Speaker, not 207, but Mr. Speaker, 201B. Mr. Speaker, the ending says, Mr. Speaker, the following principles should guide all aspects of public finance of the Republic. B, Mr. Speaker, it says, the public finance system should promote, the public finance systems should promote an equitable society, and in particular, Mr. Speaker, 1, the burden of taxation shall be shared fairly. Revenue raising nationally shall be shared equitably among national and the county government. Mr. Speaker, I'm standing here to say, Mr. Speaker, that our people are paying taxes, Mr. Speaker,
And it is completely unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, for employees to be paid for the work which they are not doing, Mr. Speaker. This, Mr. Speaker, it is one form of funds, Mr. Speaker, misappropriation, Mr. Speaker, and therefore our governor, Mr. Speaker, is breaking Public Finance Management Act, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, it says the funds should be used prudently, Mr. Speaker. The one prudence, Mr. Speaker, it means that the funds should be used carefully, Mr. Speaker. So, our governor, Mr. Speaker, having sent some employees on compulsory leave, Mr. Speaker, the likes of Dr. Ntoiti, Mr. Speaker, and others, they are being paid, Mr. Speaker, salaries, and they are not working for, Mr. Speaker. Two, Mr. Speaker, Article 207, Mr. Speaker, of our Constitution gives the County Government Acts to have what we call revenue fund account, Mr. Speaker, which is maintained by the central bank. Mr. Speaker, our governor recklessly, during one meeting at Middle 5, Mr. Speaker, and directed the hospital to spend the fund at the source, Mr. Speaker. That is reckless directives, Mr. Speaker, for a state officer at the category of a governor, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the removal of our governor from the office. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Muguna.
For the purpose of record, I'm Muguna Original, representing great people in the world. I think, Mr. Speaker, the motion by DMK, Honorable DMK Kawira, is long overdue, at least to save this great county from ridicule and embarrassment. Mr. Speaker, the notice of this motion was brought in this house some days ago, and the governor is very well aware of the accusation leveled against her on his humiliation of other leaders in the public, but the governor is not remorseful. The other day, I think quoting some Bible verses, she referred as MCs as we don't the dog, scavengers. Now, Mr. Speaker, we have been, now in the villages we are being called mirror. It's very unfortunate that the governor is still not ready to stand at anything unless impeachment. So, Mr. Speaker, that's why I'm in solidarity with other leaders, honorable members. We give Madam Kawira a taste of our own arrogance medicine, and we serve with what?
Thank you, Honorable Muguna. I wish all the other members can be briefed the way Muguna has done. Honorable Ereja from Dhangada. Let's hear from the people of Dhangada.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Elijah Kimathi, representing the people of Dhangada Ward. I'm standing here to support the motion for the impeachment of Kawira Muswanda Jwa. First, what I would like to say, due to barbaric and archaic behavior, I see that Her Excellency must go home, and I can say that she has already acquired what we call stupidity syndrome, meaning that she cannot correct whatever she is doing. So, if you read in the book of Isaiah 40, the Bible says that...
Honorable Ereja,
yes?
Please, I want you to draw that one. It's not an honorable name. Please, stupidity what? Syndrome. Please, to draw the one.
Acquired stupidity syndrome.
No, please, sit down, honorable member.
Okay.
Honorable member, please withdraw. Then proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was just trying to quote the...
No, honorable member, I've told you to withdraw.
I withdraw whatever I've said.
Not whatever, honorable member. You know you have to repeat the syndrome that you have said and then proceed.
I have withdrawn. I have withdrawn.
Thank you, then proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was saying that if you read the book of Isaiah 40, the Bible says that all the valley shall be lifted up, and all the mountains shall be made low. So, Kawira Muswanda Jwa, being our mountain in our head, Now, the mountain has already been made low for us to go through. So, honorable members, I think the Kawira want to deny us because some years to come, we are thinking of becoming even a governor of Meru County. We are thinking of becoming president in our country. But now the governor is denying us those powers. But now for us to be able to assess those leadership, we have to send Kawira home so that at least we can be able to go well. Finally, I would like to say that for us to restore the glory of Meru County, Kawira must go home. I heard she was saying that want like Wainga, and I don't know what does Wainga means.
I think I questioned you against mixing the languages.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Honorable Reja, please conclude your remarks.
Okay, what I would like to say, because I've been told that I should not use that word, then whatever the ones that she vomits does not commensurate with her caliber. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Reja. Honorable Mereti from Mekinoland.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to give my contribution. There are laws that establish the office of the governor, and any occupant of that seat should comply with the law that depicts that office. From where I start, our governor has failed to comply with the law that established the governor's office. She behaves as if she has not come to senses to know the responsibility that has been bestowed on her by the honorable laws of this country. Secondly, our governor lacks basic office etiquette. The talk and the behavior is contrary to what the public expects. Thirdly, it is as if our governor lacks basic and administrative skills, like teamwork, respect for one another, and respect for the responsibilities that are given by to the juniors. The way we are managed in this county, it is as if we don't have any place to stand in our constitution. This one now brings out arrogance and pride as the main recipe for our leadership in Meru. As far as I'm concerned, forgiveness is the preserve of the strong. Those who seek for forgiveness are not weak. Our governor has failed totally in respect to that virtue. Lastly, in subordinating the leaders who have been given mandate to lead the country, and to be specific, the county, like MCAs, is an abomination. Where God admins and subcontinent admins and given our responsibilities, it is going contrary to the standing orders and the laws of this land. So, as I study now, I want to correct the office of the governor, because yesterday there was an occupant, today there's an occupant, and tomorrow I expect somebody to occupy that office. So, to make this seat honorable, we need to sanitize the seat of the governor. And today, we are not at any war within the individual. We are sanitizing the office, and I stand to support the motion that it cleans this office to have glory and honor in Meru County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Miriti. Honorable Jennifer Mrocho.
Mr. Speaker, sir, for purposes of records, my name's Makena Mrogosho, representing the people of Kwariria Ward. Let me take this opportunity to thank my colleague, DMK, for the motion which has been very well articulated for the sake of saving our Meru County. Mr. Speaker, in the motion, DMK has elaborated very clearly that our governor have violated especially three main things. She has violated the Constitution, which is the rule of law, the Public Service Act 2013, and the Integrity and Ethics Act. Mr. Speaker, especially when we talk of an integrity in a person who is in a state officer, it is quite crucial. Because we know that an office portrays the character of that person. One of the things which are clearly stipulated, which our Governor Kawira Muswanda continues to violate, is that the Act says clearly that one should not demean an office of a state officer. And Mr. Speaker, we know that both the members of this assembly and the governor, we are state officers. Mr. Speaker, and when the governor goes round to say that she cannot be able to release money to us because we are thieves, that is really demeaning us to the people who elected us. And for this, Mr. Speaker, I'm wondering if our governor is not obeying the rule of law, and she has been in parliament for 5 years, does it mean that she really doesn't understand the laws? For 5 years you have been in assembly, you don't know the Constitution, you don't know what the Public Service Act means, you don't even have the integrity ethics. I remember, Mr. Speaker, when we were coming to this house, the time we were getting registered, we were given the Constitution, we were given the standing orders, and this we were given them so that they can be in our Bible. So for 5 years, and somebody is violating the same thing, it means that there is ignorance.
Honorable
And ignorance, we know that there is...
Please conclude your remarks. Have you concluded remarks?
Let me finish first, Mr. Speaker. And we know that we are told that ignorance is a disease which has got no cure. And Mr. Speaker, that's why we are finding that if now this ignorance continues and it doesn't have any cure, then we are going to suffer more. It is on that, Mr. Speaker, you see that our governor is disseminating the same problem to the juniors, like the one who has been quoted Hilary Sunday, who really talked so badly of me, Mr. Speaker, you know, and this one was in the media, saying that I'm somebody who is senile. And I don't think really people of Keriwanari were foolish people who could elect a senile person. I'm really looking forward so that if we can be able to deal squarely with this Sunday because of those sentiments in the media. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And mine is to say that really we should look forward to have this governor impeached by end of today. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Jennifer. You know you can't square with him, is your son, your smallest son. Honorable Jwa, and now I'll be very strict on time. 2 minutes, so that all the members make their contribution. Please, I will be very strict.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm Stephen Bijewe, representing the people of Kwingata Ward. First of all, I support the motion for impeachment of the governor, and I really want to appreciate Mca Kwariria for such a motion. What I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that the kind of incitement that is happening and the one that our governor has been doing around, it means that we elected leaders, if we allow the governor to continue doing such incitements, we might end up being stoned by the people of Meru County. So the kind of incitements that is going on, I support that we should impeach the governor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Jwa. And if you take that direction, then in 20 minutes we'll be through. Honorable Tururu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, and for purposes of record, my name is Patrick Katoriman Tururu, representing the great people of Ntima West. Mr. Speaker, with me here, I have the Constitution of Kenya 2010. And this document, Mr. Speaker, to interpret it, it does not need you to be a lawyer. It just calls for you to have common sense, and for which it seems that our governor lacks. But we will pray for her, Mr. Speaker. I stand to support this motion, Mr. Speaker, and allow me to give this analogy. There was a woman, Edman, in the Kikuyu community, Wangwa Makeri. Mr. Speaker, when power corrupted her head, she went ahead to sit on the backs of the Kikuyu men to exercise her powers, Mr. Speaker. And from this one, Mr. Speaker, I can relate to what Honorable Muswanda went through when the governor wanted her to apologize. I think, Mr. Speaker, it was the version of Wangwa Makeri sitting on the backs of the men, of the Kikuyu men now. Since we are not in Kikuyu, we in Meru, I think the governor wanted to sit on the back of Muswanda. But, Mr. Speaker, the late John Michuki once said that when you rattle a snake, expect to be bitten. Mr. Speaker, this house and this honorable house has been rattled, and it's about that time that we bite, and our biting will come through this impeachment, Mr. Speaker. So from the people of Great Ntima West, from the great people of Ntima West, I stand here to support this motion and to call for, to ask other honorable members, let us expand this business as fast as we can, so that by the closure of business, we'll have impeached the governor and we'll be set free. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Tururu. Honorable Kenipai.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on behalf of great people of Kianjai, Ken Naibai, and also the Chair on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries. Mr. Speaker, what we have seen from the screen is drama. And the journey of Honorable Kawira Muswanda has been a journey of, or rather a movie. A comedian, a dramatizer, a lady of fiction, a lady of theatrics. Mr. Speaker, if I were a judge, I would award Honorable Kawira Muswanda with a certificate of Best Award in Actress in Village Dramas. Mr. Speaker, it is quite unethical to torment any creature to the advantage of the Honorable one Kawira Muswanda. And for these kind of games playing around with the Marians, Mr. Speaker, that is why I say Kawira should be impeached like yesterday. Kawira, P.O. Box, National Theatre, Nairobi.
Thank you, Honorable Ken. Honorable Frida Naito. 2 minutes, 2 minutes each.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. For the purposes of record, my name is Frida Naito Gitobu, especially elected by UDA to represent the great people of Meru. I stand to support the motion by one DMK, Bravo DMK, for the motion that you have brought in front of us this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, what I really want to say about our governor is that she has really subjected us to insults from the public. We are really insulted, blunted so many wordings, and in that matter, people of Meru, they are really annoyed about the same. We women of Meru, we have been blunted as dictator or incompetence. But what I can say, Mr. Speaker, is that it's not all of us that we are dictators or incompetence. This one is about one Governor Kawira Muswanda. Mr. Speaker, Galatians 6 verses 2 says, one cannot walk alone, and people should carry one another's burden. We have seen Governor Kawira, Mr. Speaker, working alone without our MCAs who are elected and us who are nominated. And she's there blagging around that she can really work alone. She's her own ranger, but that one does not guarantee her to insult us in the public galleries. And this one, Mr. Speaker, we want to say that Kawira Muswanda doesn't think that she knows everything. It's ignorance that she has to us, Mr. Speaker. And this is whereby we say that ignorance of law is no defense. In leadership and integrity, Mr. Speaker, Betty Williams says that you can judge someone on the way they speak. And this, according to the videos that we have really watched this morning, we can really judge Kawira Muswanda on how she was speaking. And for this matter, Mr. Speaker, I really want to say that for Meru to be liberated, Kawira must go. For Meru to retain his glory, Kawira must go. And to stop the drama in Meru, Kawira must go. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Frida. Honorable Spora, I know you are a teacher. 2 minutes means 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For purposes of records, Kinya Zipora, and I beg to support this motion, Mr. Speaker, that Honorable Kawira Muswanda must go. I am saying this because, Mr. Speaker, the public service that I've served for the last 30 years, Mr. Speaker, in Meru County is in a state of confusion. And I would want to note that the honorable members have noted that we are not able to receive statements that have been sought from the executive by this honorable house. Honorable Bioki has noted that the county executive has not been able to deliver the CIDP nor the supplementary budget. And I would want to say, Mr. Speaker, it is because the public service is in total confusion. Reason being, Mr. Speaker, the failure to nominate other 7 CECs after the fallen 7 has costed the county a great deal. Mr. Speaker, I can report to this house that the CECs, the 3 CECs that were approved by this house, Mr. Speaker, are overloaded, they are overworked. I can authoritatively report in this house, Mr. Speaker, that the CEC Legal Affairs and Management, Mr. Speaker, is in charge of 12 directorates, for example, which is an appeal task, Mr. Speaker. So in this regard, Mr. Speaker, I would want to say that by failing to submit other names, Mr. Speaker, the members of the public or the qualified members of Meru County, Mr. Speaker, have been denied an opportunity, an employment opportunity, Mr. Speaker. I would also want to report to this house, Mr.
Honorable Spora,
yes?
Please conclude your remarks. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to conclude, Mr. Speaker, but I want to say, Mr. Speaker, by failing to nominate other CEC, Mr. Speaker, does not mean that this county has a shortage of professionals, Mr. Speaker. Or maybe, Mr. Speaker, the 7 that were not approved by this house have their vacancies reserved for reasons that we do not know. Mr. Speaker, I beg to support the impeachment of Kawira Muswanda because she is not able to govern the county of Meru. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Spora. You know, honorable members, most of what we are doing is petition, please. If we can really, Honorable Aaron.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the purposes of records, I'm Aaron Turanera, representing great people of Abogeta East in South Imenti. Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I want to be very brief because when I say so many things here, it will be a repetition. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to join my colleagues supporting this motion to impeach our governor, Kawira Muswanda, because she has proved to be incompetent, Mr. Speaker. Honestly, the Meru people are at a standstill, and we risk being extinct, Mr. Speaker. We are approaching the end of the financial year. No monies have been used, and we have like 6 months to go, Mr. Speaker. At the end of the day, the 6 months that are remaining, I don't think I, being the chairman of Lands, Economic and Planning, I don't see how best we utilize this money. And it is because our governor has failed, she has neglected to do what is required of her. And because she has proved that she is not able to handle the Meru county, let us get her impeached. We give this responsibility to a neighbor person. Meru, people have been coming from across.
Honorable Arun, please conclude.
I'm concluding, Mr. Speaker. Very many counties have been benchmarking in Meru, and we want to have that glory back. So we are impeaching the governor today so that we can give the right person the right job. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Arun. Honorable Mutuma from Kisima.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute. My name is Patrick Mutuma, representing the people of Kisima and in deputy a majority in this house. I stand to support the impeachment of Honorable Kawira Muswanda because the governor has seriously failed in his leadership in many ways. She has clearly shown that she lacks capacity to manage the county government. And Mr. Speaker, this seems like forcing a sheep to carry a load for a donkey. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, our governor, as the president of our county, is the one who is supposed to be uniting us. But when you look at the things, she is doing opposite of what you are expecting. And we know, Mr. Speaker, without unity, nothing will happen in our county. The economy will be at a danger. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the governor is inciting the public against all elected leaders. And Mr. Speaker, if the governor continues to own the office and incites the public against the elected leaders, this may lead to or trigger violence and pose a serious breach of peace in our country, and this may not end out well. Finally, let me say, we are not impeaching the governor because she is a woman, because you have so many women in the society who are holding some position and they are carrying mandates. Well, we are impeaching the governor because she lacks characters of a good leader. And for that, I feel it is better we impeach this, the one and the only dictator we have in our country, Honorable Kawira Muswanda.
And Patrick Mudhuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Mudhuri Patrick. I represent Abudhuguchi West. Mr. Speaker, I have a confession to make. That I'm not a bishop or a pastor, and I'm not a bishop like Faith Kawira Muswanda or a pastor like Omorega.
Honorable Patrick, please take your seat. She is not Faith. She is Her Excellency Bishop Kawira Muswanda. That is her title. That even belongs to her. You can continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The outgoing Her Excellency Faith Kawira Muswanda, and I think there's a scenario in this country, Mr. Speaker. If you look back, those who are truly called by God, and I'm happy that we have many preachers today in this house, Mr. Speaker. If I can remind of one former bishop, I think he is still a bishop, Bishop Muiro. When he tried politics, what happened? The glory was taken by the Father in heaven. When Margaret Bishop Wanjiru tried politics, the glory was taken back by God. And today Kawira Muswanda has tried politics, the glory has been taken. So I think, Mr. Speaker, when men and women in this country receive a calling from the Almighty God to preach the word of God, they should stick to the word of God seriously. Because you cannot mock God and succeed in this world. Kawira Muswanda, the governor, after what she did to the Catholic priests, I think this is what has really brought her to this day. But I want to thank your office and the office of the crack, because the seat that is purposely preserved there and well taken care of was meant for the Excellency, so that she can come and address us and defend herself. And if I was the bishop, I could have come and say that the spirit was always willing, but the body was weak. The tongue was always loose. Please, brethren, forgive me. But now that she is not willing to say that the spirit was willing and the tongue was weak, I received instruction yesterday from the people of Abodhochi West that I should send Kawira back home and to the Baite Family Church. And I want to encourage Kawira Muswanda, now that he will be free from today or in the next around 1 week, she should open many branches all over this country so that, she can continue spreading the word of God, because that is where our calling is. Mr. Speaker, your ambition, your attitude can take you anywhere, but your character will determine if you will stay there. With these few remarks, I want to say the Honorable DMK Kiogara has done as great. We want to thank you, sir, but you should take my advice seriously. Mr. Speaker, I know you are Angelin Chekerda. You should advise DMK. We are ready to, to do what is required by the Meru customs and even the others who have not fulfilled the customs of this great county of Meru. Mawira, the end of government, I think, has taken the advice seriously. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Patrick Mudhuri. Honorable Timothy. Thank
you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to contribute towards this motion. For the record purpose, I'm Timothy, representing the great people of Kegoi and Tobocho. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the impeachment motion for the Meru Governor, Kawira Muswanda, who is equal to the Sadducees and the Pharisees referred to in the Bible. Mr. Speaker, she is an hypocrite. She has been trying to convince my people that I'm unable to perform my duty. But Mr. Speaker, I want to tell her that today I'm doing one of my, or I'm executing one of my core duty, which is to rehabilitate her and send her at home to realize herself. And Mr. Speaker, this is not Kabako saying, but the great people of Kegoi obviously and mercilessly declared today, without any fear or compassion, that Madam Kawira Muswanda should pack a luggage without forgetting the Ngita man and go home where she belongs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I stand to support.
Thank you, Honorable Timothy. Honorable members, Honorable Akule from Kiwocho. 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Stephen Gakule Nchebere. I represent the people of Kigocho Ward. I stand here to support the motion that Kawira Muswanda, Her Excellency Kawira Muswanda should be impeached and go home. This is because I'm very conversant with the government works. Since the institution of this government, I don't remember any Mbondirumu meeting that she has ever convened. She has never convened any leaders meeting. I don't think whether she knows all the department ends in Meru County, because that is part of governance. And because there has been no project implementations in Meru, there has been no formulation of policies that we should follow in Meru. We stand to understand that there is no work going on in Meru. Therefore, my request to my fellow MCAs and the people of Meru, we recommend that Honorable Kawira should go home. We shall not live to praise the heart, to praise the beyond of the man. We shall not live to praise useless things in the sense of working. So I'm here to support the motion that Kawira should go home.
Thank you, Honorable Kure, Honorable Burgo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the purpose of record, I'm Frederick Bruo, representing the people of Wantamboi Ward. Mr. Speaker, today is a great day that we have come to rescue the county of Meru from the hands of an incompetent governor who has displayed herself in a manner that has rendered the county to great loss. Mr. Speaker, the governor, where people rose up on the 9th of August, had much expectations. But at the end of it all, it has turned to be a liability to the people of Meru. And in the course, Mr. Speaker, their hope is already out of order. My good people of Meru are now in desperation, whereas the expectation was that immediately after election, they would see a continuity in their county, of which now has turned against their wish. And at present, what we can see is a master of vulgar language and a master of incompetence at purporting to be serving the people of Meru County as a great governor. Mr. Speaker, I may say the best we can offer and give to Kawira is to give her a chance to go home. And in the essence, Mr. Speaker, I would urge my fellow honorable members, when Kawira comes seeking an application for a theatric and a drama queen within any media house, I beg your support so that at the end of it all, she can perform the duty she is best in, and we shall offer her our best so that she can perform her duty. In that case, Mr. Speaker, on this matter, I think we should rest Kawira and have time to perform other duties. Then we get someone who will have an opportunity to demonstrate competence, one who will be consultative, one who will be cooperative, one who will be visionary, and one who will be courteous to the people of Meru. Mr. Speaker, I hope in the course we shall get one who will be ready and willing to serve the people of Meru other than the theatric governor that we have today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to support.
Thank you, Honorable Nkonja. Honorable Nkonja. Antoveto Kiongo.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to the motion. I'm Kunja Mahore, representing the people of Antobetwe. Mr. Speaker, allow me to categorically tell the people of Meru that this honorable house is the high of the government, and the government is the people who we represent. Her Excellency Governor Kawira Muswanda was elected to carry out some mandates, that is taking development to the world level, but she has forgotten that and going rounds around the county, flattering her husband, beard, and guitars, instead of engaging the investors and agreeing on how they can come to Meru County and start manufacturing industries to create employment for the youths who are jobless. With this honorable house, I think it is in order to support this motion. And this reminds me of us philosopher, that is Mahatma Gandhi, who, during his research and the working experiences he had, came up with 7 blunders of the world. And in this case, I'm interested on only 2. The one which is politics without principles, and the other one is worship without sacrifice. Her Excellency, the Governor Kawira Muswanda, the appointments she has been doing, illegal appointments, and even whatever we have seen are doing, that one has shown us that she lacks the simple basic of management, the simple basic governance skills. This is why she has gone, even in some ones, to pick the people who are not elected by the people to represent the electorates, and they were not even given the mandates. We, the electorate, the honorable members who were given the powers by the people to represent them, we have been reduced to village elders without powers. And with that, I rest my case by complying to the directives given by the people of Antobetwe that I should support the impeachment of our Excellency, the Governor Kawira Muswanda, for the development to reach Antobetwe Kiongo.
Thank you, honorable members. All members, you can agree with me. What we are doing is a repetition. And surely, if you allow me, I'll just give only one honorable Ken, the learned friend that we have in this house. He makes remarks then and give further direction on that. Please, Honorable Kampura, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. For records purposes, my name is Kennedy Maingi Mutweri, specially elected by Jubilee to represent the youth. Mr. Speaker, what we have today in the House is a question of impeachment. It is a debate on willful and premeditated abuse of office by our governor. And I hope that we proceed with the debate. It also becomes a lesson to the current and future leaders of this county that when you are elected, you don't go into a vacuum. You don't go into an utopia. You join a government with set systems. All you have to do is serve the people. As a colleague mentioned, as a honorable member mentioned, yes, sir, we represent the sovereign. The sovereign are the people. At the ballot, what people do on the voting day is they surrender their rights to the members of the county assembly at the county level and members of the parliament at the national level. Mr. Speaker, Article 38 of our Constitution talks of political rights. It also touches, and I also like to refer to the motion of impeachment, that is ground number 2. We have a situation whereby the governor has usurped every other law in this county and decided he can appoint who is an MCA, who delivers projects. Mr. Speaker, this is not a choice. When people go to the voting, is not just a formality. It is their fundamental right. And those who are elected, Mr. Speaker, are supposed to represent and speak for those who voted for them. At the point where, Mr. Speaker, you even attempt to limit a member who has been elected, that is already mutilating the political rights of the electorates. Mr. Speaker, previously we have had attempts to seek peace with the executive. I believe there have been efforts in futility for one reason: insincerity, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the House...
Honorable Ken,
yes,
please make your conclusion remarks.
I yield my time, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Ken. Honorable Njuki, 2 minutes, please.
I was very desperate for this opportunity, and I was praying that you catch my eye. Thank you very much. My name is Joki, representing the good and great people of Mangandia, and also elected through the bus ticket, the Revolution Empowerment Party, and the minority deputy whip of the party. Mr. Speaker, I would want to bring my contributions on a very, very serious note. When we look at our governor, the world, the scholars, and even members of this assembly who are in school should take this one seriously as a standard case. A standard case where a governor representing 45 ones sit in an office for less than 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes, Mr. Speaker. And she gets out of the office, goes around once, appointing people on the loans. Mr. Speaker, is as serious as I'm saying that a whole governor stands in front of people when other governors are giving directives, are giving economical directions to their people. Our governor stands and praises Murega. Mr. Speaker, as I went up, I want to say that it is only the governor of Meru County, Kawira Muswanda, who appoints a volunteer. And I wonder where a volunteer has ever been appointed in the name of Murega Bachu. Appoints a volunteer, gives him a department that is worth hundreds of millions. Mr. Speaker, this is completely abnormal. Because of time, I may not say all that I had. I wish you catched my eye from the time I started raising up my hands. But thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I've listened my hand more than 100 times.
Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you very much.
But I appreciate that you have spoken.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Kidenji, 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. For the purpose of record, I'm Felix Kidenji Murigi, aka Ntuo, representing the great people of Ruiru. I arise to support the motion of impeaching Kawira Muswanda. To my finest, Mr. Speaker, when I retire to politics, I intend to be a bishop. But today, I'm supporting the motion of impeaching my colleague because she is unable to accommodate other readers in her readership. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, in order to bring sanity and good governance in Meru County, Kawira Muswanda must go. I support the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Kithenji. Honorable Makasi, please, 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Makasi is my name. Martin is the other name. I represent the people of Kwene. First, I thank God for this moment in this honorable house as I stand to support the motion. Kawira has been a true friend of mine for years, but on this one, I think she has lost it. I wish to thank members of this honorable house who have put in some effort in an attempt to help her through advice, including you, Honorable Speaker, including a colleague like Honorable Muna Jospat, Honorable Mbirigi. But, Honorable Speaker, it has not worked, and now it has come to a time when she has to go. When there was fracas when she attempted to force her way into the assembly, it's important for me to know to notify the members that I lost the windscreen on my car, which cost me around 11,000. Money I paid from my pocket, and it really pained me, on Speaker. And then we were told that we were throwing stones, which was not true. It is also important, Honorable Speaker, to make this county and the people of Meru know that in the next few months, we might be at a standstill because even donors have withdrawn their support to this county because we cannot keep up with the process of the budget. So we should expect under times in a few days' time. As I finish, Honorable Speaker, Bob Marley sang and said, you can fool some people sometime, but you cannot fool people all the time. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Makasi. Honorable Mutea, 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Douglas Mutea, representing the great people of Aboduguchi Central. I stand to support the motion, Mr. Speaker. There is a saying which says, if you see a person treats you badly, then that person has something wrong, because you can't get a normal human being going around destroying every person or any person who is close to the common mwananchi who is normal. The only thing I can advise our honorable governor, after this impeachment, she has to go for psychiatric review. Number 2, our governor is a pathological, manipulative liar. She has gone around the Meru County, intimidating people against honorable members, which is against the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012. So I support the impeachment of Governor Kawira Muswanda, and she has to go home. Thank you, Honorable DMK, for this motion.
Thank you, Honorable Mokoroni. Please. Please use the microphone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Mokoroni Daniel, representing the great people of Tima East. And I stand to support the motion. Due to the incompetence of the Honorable Governor, according to us, he manages our work. When you see her, I think she wouldn't manage anything in Melo County as well. Because when you see her with the pipes, giving each person a pipe, you'll wonder whether they are straws. Because where she gives the pipes, there is no water. The other thing is that you'll never trust her. She can't tell you the truth or tell you something that she will fulfill. That's why I stand to support the motion. And I say, Kawira must go.
Thank you, Honorable Mukoronia. Then, honorable members, if you allow me this juncture, please let me give other directions. Is it okay with you? Yes, thank you, honorable members. Honorable members, as initially directed and before I call upon the mover to reply to the debate, standing under number 693, provides that when the Speaker is satisfied that the motion has been adequately debated, the Speaker shall call upon the person who is being removed from office to answer issues raised in the debate, and thereafter call upon the mover of the motion to reply. At this juncture, if the governor is still not present, and I can't see her, then unfortunately, the governor will cancel, for the governor is not present before the House, and I therefore call upon the mover of the motion, Honorable Dennis Kiogora, DMK, to reply. Honorable DMK Kiogora, please take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to use the debate table to...
Please do, please do.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First of all, I want to thank the honorable members of this House for ventilating on this motion and for the great support that the honorable members of this House have given this motion. And Mr. Speaker, I want to thank all the members for the patience that they have exhibited, despite the fact that the first motion that was introduced to the House was quashed by the courts, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, the letter that even was read by the Honorable Speaker in this House from the governor's lawyers, that letter is null and void ab initio, because the orders that were issued on 30th November were specific to the motion of 30th November, not to this motion that we have here today. This is a different motion. The one that was quashed disappeared. So, Mr. Speaker, there is no way it could be the motion that the letter the lawyer is purporting to have been addressing. And there is no letter from any lawyer that can give a governor or the president immunity against impeachment by this House or Parliament. There is no letter that can overrule the Constitution of Kenya, particularly the provisions of Article 181 that provide for the procedures of the impeachment of the governor and the requirement for the impeachment of the governor. There are no protections that can be given by any letter written by anybody or by any directions that the lawyer is purporting to have come from the court. There is no court that can give an order that an order of a court cannot supersede, Mr. Speaker, the provisions of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the members of this Honorable House have every legal backing to debate this motion, Mr. Speaker, and to vote on it. And if I can jog the members of this House memories, 10 years ago, Mr. Speaker, the then Deputy Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, one Dr. Nancy Balaza, who has taught me some law in Parklands, Mr. Speaker, resigned from office because she had a small altercation with a watchman at a shopping mall in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker. And a quote came from that altercation whereby the Deputy Chief Justice, Mr. Speaker, told the lady, "You should know people." And just because of that simple act of saying you should know people, she was removed from office. Mr. Speaker, we have demonstrated in this House through this motion various misdoings and various misdoings that the governor has committed by breaking the law, the Constitution, national laws, county laws, Mr. Speaker, which supersede the little act that, if you compare the acts of our governor and the acts of the Deputy Chief Justice Nancy Baraza, Mr. Speaker, what the Deputy Chief Justice did was child's play. It is a small thing, Mr. Speaker. Yet, she was removed from office by the established mechanisms of the Constitution. A tribunal was formed. She took the report of the tribunal to the Supreme Court, to her colleagues, to review it, and they were unable to help her. She had to go. Mr. Speaker, in 1989, some of us in this assembly were not born. There was a vice president of this country known as Dr. Josephat Karanja. He resigned from office, Mr. Speaker, because Parliament was about to pass a vote of no confidence on him, because he had required the then Embakasi Member of Parliament, one David Mwenje, to kneel before him to make his request, Mr. Speaker. If the Vice President of Kenya many years ago could be removed from office because of requiring an MP to kneel before him, how about a governor who requires an MCA to apologize for reasons unknown, Mr. Speaker? How unaccountable can someone be if we let her go with all these misdeeds that she has committed, Mr. Speaker? Why should we look the other side, Mr. Speaker? When she is doing them, and the following day she does them, when is she going to stop, Mr. Speaker, if this House does not hold her to account? Therefore, in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, to address the lawlessness that has been exhibited by the Kawira Muswanda government, Mr. Speaker, I beg this House to vote yes to the impeachment motion, and Kawira must go. To redress the nurses who have been denied a chance for promotion because she has appealed the decision to award them promotions, Mr. Speaker, Kawira must go. To stop the illegal roadside appointments in Meru County, Mr. Speaker, that we have seen in this motion, Kawira must go. To stop the vilification of leaders in Meru County, Mr. Speaker, Kawira must go. To bring unity that the governor is talking about, Mr. Speaker, there cannot be unity with Kawira, Mr. Speaker. To bring unity, Kawira must go first. To restore Meru County, Mr. Speaker, to its former glory, Mr. Speaker, where Meru County is respected, Mr. Speaker, Kawira needs to go. To redress the honorable members of this House, Mr. Speaker, who have been abused, Mr. Speaker, who have been called cartels, Mr. Speaker, who have been called thieves, Mr. Speaker, who have been told that they are looking for something to eat, Mr. Speaker, when they call for accountability, Mr. Speaker, who have been called foxes, Mr. Speaker, by our able governor, Mr. Speaker. To redress them, Mr. Speaker, and to heal their pain, Mr. Speaker, Kawira must go. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude my remarks before this House, Mr. Speaker, and moving the motion on impeachment, I urge this honorable House, by looking at even the contributions of members of public from the public participation forums that were held yesterday, Mr. Speaker, the foregoing evidence that has been attached to this motion, Mr. Speaker, to vote yes, Mr. Speaker, to the impeachment of Meru Governor, one Honorable Bishop Kawira Muswanda. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable DMK. And this juncture, the mover having replied on the contribution that has been made on the floor of the House. Now, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 54-2, I now put the question, which is, whereas Article 10 of the Constitution, Section 3 and 16 of the Leadership Integrity Act 2012, the Leadership Act, and Section 9, 10, and 12 of the Public Officers Act 2003 establish, among others, the rule of law, democracy, human dignity, courtesy, respect, social justice, inclusiveness, equality, human rights, probity, professionalism, non-discrimination, protection of the marginalized, good governance, transparency, and accountability as part of the national values and principles of governance. Articles 10, 7.3, and 7.5 of the Constitution requires state officers at all times, whether in the public or private life, to behave in a manner that, among other things, brings honor to the nation and dignity to the office that a state officer owns. 1, ensures decisions are not influenced by nepotism, favoritism, or any other improper motives. 3, demonstrate discipline and commitment in service to the people. And 4, avoids demeaning the office that is a state officer owns. Article 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, and Section 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Government Act 2012, the County Government Act, provide for the values and the principles of public service and establish an elaborate framework for the establishment of county public offices and the recruitment, employment, and dismissal of county public officers. Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Government Act, and the Standing Order number 65 of the Standing Orders of the County of the Assembly provides for the impeachment of county governors for, among other things, 1, gross violation of the Constitution, 2, gross violation of any other law, 3, abuse of office, and 4, gross misconduct. The governor has engaged in multiple and discreditable acts that severally and collectively amount to 1, gross violation of the Constitution, 2, gross violation of various national and county laws, 3, abuse of office, and 4, gross misconduct. The discreditable act have expressed the office of the governor, the assembly and its leadership, and the people of Meru County. Embarrassment, ridicule, and disrepute. Discreditable acts have created a toxic environment in which the governor cannot be legitimately expected or relied upon to work harmoniously with the staff and elected leaders at the national and the county levels of government. And the governor's continued stay in office under the prevailing toxic environment will inevitably undermine effective and efficient service delivery and thus at the interests of the people of the county. The Assembly resolves to impeach the governor under Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Government Act, and Standing Order 65 of the Standing Orders of the Assembly on the following grounds: nepotism, illegal appointments, and of dismissal, and usurpation of the constitutional and statutory functions of county organs. Appointment of husband to county offices. On or around 30 September 2022, the governor engaged in 1, gross misconduct, 2, grossly violated Articles 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, 3, grossly violated Section 17 of the Public Officer Ethics Act, 4, grossly violated Section 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Government Act, and 5, grossly violated Section 6 and 11 of the Meru County Youth Service Act 2018, and grossly violated Section 4 of the Public Appointment County Assemblies Approval Act 2017 by A, appointing a husband to the non-existent position of the patron of the Meru Youth Service before conducting a transparent and competitive recruitment process. B, appointing a husband to be appointing a husband to the non-existent position of the Meru Asoras ambassador before conducting a transparent and competitive recruitment process. C, disregarding the criteria for the establishment of offices within the county public service. D, failing to submit a husband's name for approval by the assembly before making the unpunched appointment. E, the appointing Rufus Milita as the county secretary without the approval of the assembly. F, appointing the foreign and qualified persons to hold county offices without undertaking a transparent and competitive recruitment process. 1, Munene Samaritan as Director of Special Programs. 2, Ernest Mutembe as Director Monitoring and Evaluation. 3, Enere Mzungu as Director of Administration. And 4, Hilary Sandi as Director of Communication. G, usurping or thrashing the constitutional and statutory functions of 1, the Assembly, 2, the Meru County Public Service Board, and 3, the Meru County Youth Service Board. Evidence of the governor: 1, gross misconduct, gross violation of Articles 10, 232, 235, 236 of the Constitution, gross violation of Section 17 of the Public Offices Act, 4, gross violation of sections 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Government Act. 5, gross violation of section 6 and 11 of the Meru County Youth Service Act 2018, and gross violation of section 4 of the Public Appointment County Assembly Approval Act 2017 is set in the videos saved as Annex 2, appointment of husband, Annex 3, appointment of Rufus Militi, and Annex 4, appointment of Hilary Sandi in the first disc presented here with the transcript. Translations of these videos are attached as Annex 2A, Annex 3A, Annex 4A to the affidavit sworn by Dennis Kiaura and MK on 21st November 2022 in support of this motion. The affidavit in support of the motion, further evidence is in the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission data dated 19th October 2022 and a screenshot from the governor's Facebook page, respectively attached as Annex 5 and Annex 5A to the affidavit in support of the motion, round-signed appointment of county workers at Timau. On or around 22nd September 2022, the governor grossly violated A, Articles 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, and grossly violated Section 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and the 65 of the County Government Act by A, appointing firefighters at a public rally at Timau in misguided and unsweetenable populism before conducting a transparent and competitive recruitment process. B, subjecting potential applicants for any county jobs to public humiliation by converting the crowd at the public rally as the advertising, recruiting, shortlisting, and appointing authority. And C, usurping and trashing exclusive constitutional and statutory mandate and the functions of the Meru County Public Service Board. Evidence of the governors: 1, gross violation of Articles 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, and 2, gross violation of Section 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Government Act is set in the video and is saved as Annex 6 in the first disc presented here with. The transcript translation of the video is attached as Annex 6A to the affidavit to the motion. Round-signed appointment of county workers at Nkobo. On or around 9th September 2022, the governor engaged in 1, gross misconduct, 2, gross violation of Articles 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, and 3, gross violation of Section 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and the 65 of the County Government Act by A, appointing market guns at a public rally at Nkobo in misguided and unsustainable populism before conducting a transparent and competitive recruitment process, and B, usurping exclusive constitutional and statutory functions and mandate of the Meru County Public Service Board. Evidence of the governors: 1, gross misconduct, 2, gross violation of articles of 1, Article 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, and 3, gross violation of Section 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Government Act is set in the video saved as Annex 7 in the first disc. Presented herewith, the transcript translation of the video is attached as Annex 7 to the affidavit in support of the motion. Road-signed appointment of county workers at Kianjai. On 9th September 2022, the governor engaged in 1, gross misconduct, 2, gross violation of Articles 10, 232, 235, 236 of the Constitution, and 3, gross violation of Section 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Government Act by A, illegally directing one and sub-county administrators to employ sweepers and market guns at a public area at Kianjai in misguided and unsustainable populism before conducting a transparent and competitive recruitment process, and B, directing one and sub-county administrators to usurp exclusive constitutional and social functions and mandates of the Meru County Public Service Board. Evidence of the governors: 1, gross misconduct; 2, gross violation of Articles 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, and 3, gross violation of Sections 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Government Act is set in the video saved as Annex 8 in the first disc presented herewith. The transcript translation of the video is attached as Annex 8A to the affidavit in support of the motion. Illegal Committee on the Meru Municipality. On or around 21st October 2022, the governor: 1, grossly violated Articles 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution; 2, grossly violated Section 12, 14, 15, and 20 of the Urban Areas and Cities Act; and 3, grossly violated the charter establishing the Meru Municipality by A, illegally appointing a committee to manage Meru Municipality affairs at a public area at Kinoru, yet the function is vested in the Meru Municipal Board. B, directing the aforesaid illegal committee to usurp the functions of the Meru Municipal Board. C, usurping the functions of the Meru County Public Service Board. D, trashing the procedures for the appointment of county public officers. And E, spewing the hate speech against the G4S company. Evidence of the governors: 1, gross violation of Articles 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, and 3, gross violation of Section 12, 14, 15, and 20 of the Urban Areas and Cities Act is set in the video saved as Annex 9 in the first disc presented herewith. The transcript translation of the video is attached as Annex 9A to the affidavit in support of the motion. Incitement, bullying, vilification, and misleading campaigns against other leaders. The governor has: 1, grossly violated Article 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution; 2, grossly violated Section 19 of the Public Office Act; 3, grossly violated Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act; and 4, repeatedly engaged in gross misconduct by A, owning public verification, incitement, and mediation rallies against members of the County Assembly and other elected leaders; B, falsely accusing members of the Assembly and other elected leaders of cartelism, blackmail, greed, corruption, and intimidation; C, owning public verification and incitement rallies against the Catholic Church and the Catholic clergy; and D, inciting the public against the members of the Assembly and other elected leaders, well knowing that church conduct can easily trigger violent reactions and pose serious breaches of the peace. Evidence of specific illustrative examples of the governor's verification and incitement campaigns against members of the Assembly and other elected leaders are outlined in paragraphs 7 to 12 below. Humiliation of the minority leader. On or around 24th October 2022, the governor: 1, grossly violated Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution; 2, grossly violated Section 19 of the Public Officer Ethics Act; 3, grossly violated Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act; and 4, engaged in gross misconduct by A, bullying and inciting the public against the minority leader and the member of assembly for Akidi 1 under Mwenda Idiri. The minority leader at a public rally on that Mweron Kanga. B, requiring the minority leader to make a public apology for unknown and disclosed wrongs at the public rally on that Mweron Kanga. C, voluntarily grabbing a microphone from the minority leader at the public rally on that Mweron Kanga. D, offering to protect the minority leader against the speaker of the assembly from unknown and undisclosed dangers. And E, falsely accusing the members of the assembly and other elected leaders of cartelism, blackmail, greed, corruption, and intimidation. Evidence of the governors: 1, gross violation of Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, gross violation of Section 19 of the Public Officer Act. 3, gross violation of Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And 4, gross misconduct is set in the video saved as Annex 11 in the first disc presented herewith. The transcript / translation of the video is attached as Annex 11A to the affidavit in support of the motion. Verification of minority whip and other leaders. On or around 25th October 2022, the governor: 1, grossly violated Article 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, grossly violated Section 19 of the Public Officers Ethics Act. 3, grossly violated Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And 4, engaged in gross misconduct by A, inciting the people against the minority whip and the member of Assembly for Bogota West Ward, Honorable Dennis GMK, the minority whip, at a public rally held at Ngongo in Bogota West Ward. B, falsely accusing the minority whip of stoning R. And C, falsely accusing the member of the Assembly and other elected leaders of cartelism, blackmail, greed, corruption, and intimidation. Evidence of the governors: 1, gross violation of Article 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, gross violation of Section 19 of the Public Officers Ethics Act. Gross violation of Section 29 and 34 of Leadership and Integrity Act. And 4, gross misconduct is set in the video saved as Annex 12 in the first disc presented herewith. The transcription and the translation of the video is attached as Annex 12A to the affidavit in support of the motion. Verification of the Senator of Meru County. On or on 12 September 2022, the governor: 1, grossly violated Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, grossly violated Section 19 of the Public Officers Act. 3, grossly violated Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And 4, engaged in gross misconduct by A, inciting the people against the Senator of Meru County, Honorable Kaduli Murongi, at a public rally held at Lare in Tunene Ward. B, falsely accusing the Senator of demanding a chair of county government appointment. C, falsely accusing the Senator of antagonizing and creating a wedge between the governor and the President of the Republic of Kenya. And D, falsely accusing the Senator of cartelism, blackmail, greed, corruption, and intimidation. Evidence of the governors: gross violation of Article 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, gross violation of Section 19 of the Public Officers Act. 3, gross violation of Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And 4, gross misconduct is set in the videos saved as Annex 13 in the first disc presented herewith. A transcript / translation of the video is attached as Annex 13A to the affidavit supporting the motion. Verification of the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture. On or on 12 September 2022, the governor: 1, grossly violated Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, grossly violated Section 19 of the Public Officers Ethics Act. 3, grossly violated Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And engaged, and number 4, engaged in gross misconduct by A, bullying and inciting the people against the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi, at a public rally held at Lare in Tunene Ward. B, falsely accusing the Cabinet Secretary of demanding a share of county government appointments. C, falsely accusing the cabinet secretary of antagonizing and creating a wedge between her and the President of the Republic of Kenya, and D, falsely accusing the cabinet secretary of cartelism, blackmail, greed, corruption, and intimidation. Evidence of the governors. 1, gross violation of Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, gross violation of Section 19 of the Public Officer Ethics Act. 3, gross violation of Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And 4, gross misconduct is set in the video saved as Annex 13 in the first disc presented herewith. A transcript stroke translation of the video is attached as Annex 13A to the affidavit supporting the motion. Verification of the MP for Tigania East constituency. On or around November 9th November 2022, the governor and husband, 1, grossly violated Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, grossly violated Section 19 of Public Officers Ethics Act. 3, grossly violated Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And 4, engaged in gross misconduct by A, inciting the people against the Member of Parliament for Tigania East constituency under Mporo at a public rally held at Mbaranga in Karama Ward. B, falsely accusing the MP for Tigania East of demanding that the governor appoint the MP's wife as a county executive committee member. C, falsely accusing the MP for Tigania East of demanding that the governor pre-qualifies a store of companies for the award of county tenders. D, falsely accusing the MP for Tigania East presenting fake pending bills for payment by the county government. And E, falsely accusing the MP for Tigania East of cartelism, blackmail, greed, corruption, and intimidation. Evidence of governors and husband. 1, gross violation of Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, gross violation of Section 19 of the Public Officer Ethics Act. 3, gross violation of Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And 4, gross misconduct is set in the video saved as Annex 14 in the first disc presented herewith. The transcript and translation of the video is attached as Annex 14A to the affidavit in support of the motion. Verification of the Catholic Church and the Kiranchi. On or around 17th October 2022, the Governor 1, grossly violated Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, grossly violated Section 19 of the Public Officers Ethics Act. 3, grossly violated Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And 4, engaged in gross misconduct by A, inciting the public against the Roman Catholic Church and the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Meru, Mr. Salesius Mugambi, at a public rally held at the former Igoji Boys Secondary School. B, falsely accusing the Catholic Church of grabbing public land. C, falsely accusing the Catholic Church of cartelism, blackmail, greed, corruption, and intimidation. D, conducting a mock prayer to demean and humiliate the Catholic Church and the Catholic clergy. And E, inciting the people against religious leaders while knowing that church conduct can easily trigger violence, reactions, and pose a serious breach of the peace. Evidence of the governors. 1, gross violation of Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, gross violation of Section 19 of the Public Officer Ethics Act. 3, gross violation of Section 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. And 4, gross misconduct is set in the video saved as Annex 15 in the first disc presented herewith. Transcript and translation of the video is attached as Annex 15A to the affidavit in support of the motion. Forceful entry into the Assembly, presence and the mobilization of unlawful riot against members of the Assembly. On or around 19th October 2022, the Governor and the husband, 1, grossly violated Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, grossly violated Section 5 and 7 of the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act 2017. And 3, engaged in gross misconduct by A, forcibly entering the presence of the Assembly. B, falsely accusing members of the Assembly and other elected leaders of cartelism, blackmail, greed, corruption, and intimidation. C, organizing a violent demonstration against the members of the assembly at the assembly premises, and D, addressing a riotous crowd at the premises of the assembly. Evidence on governors and husband. 1, gross violation of Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 2, gross violation of Section 5 and 7 of the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act 2017. And 3, gross misconduct is set in the video saved as Annex 16. Transcript and Annex 17 in the flasking disk presented herewith. The transcript stroke translation of the videos are attached as Annex 16A and Annex 17A to the affidavit in support of the motion. Violation of public finance management laws. On around 6 September 2022, the Governor, 1, grossly violated Articles 201 and 207, 1 of the Constitution. 2, grossly violated Section 109(2) and 159 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. 3, grossly violated Section 12 and 14 of the Public Officer Ethics Act. 4, grossly violated Section 16 and 35 of the Leadership Integrity Act. 5, engaged in gross misconduct, and 6, engaged in gross abuse of office by A, directing the Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital to spend all the revenue at source, whereas all monies leased or received by or earned by the county should be paid into the county revenue fund. B, issuing waivers on fees at the Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital, whereas the county executive committee member for finance is the only person legally empowered to grant such waivers. And C, directing county government officers to participate in furthering and advancing the interests of Aita TV, a media station owned by Mwangasa Advertiser Limited, a private company owned by the governor through our close relatives as proxies. Evidence of the governor's 1, gross violation of Articles 201 and 207, 1 of the Constitution. 2, gross violation of Section 109(2) and 159 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. 3, gross violation of Section 12 and 24 of the Public Officer Ethics Act. 4, gross violation of Section 16 and 35 of the Leadership Integrity Act. 5, gross misconduct, and 6, gross abuse of office is set in the video saved as Annex 18 in the first disc presented herewith. A transcript stroke translation of the video is attached as Annex 18A to the affidavit supporting the motion. Further evidence is in the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, letter dated 19 October 2022, and the document attached as Annex 18B and Annex 18C to the affidavit in support of the motion. Misconduct relating to the nomination of CECs. On or around 8 November 2022, the governor engaged in 1, gross misconduct, 2, grossly violated Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution. 3, grossly violated Section 10(1) of the Public Appointment County Assemblies Approval Act 2017, and 4, grossly violated Section 3, 4, 10, and 11 of the Meru County Detention Enhancement Fund Act 2016 by A, verifying members of the Assembly for refusing to approve some county executive CEC nominee at a public rally held at Kiangwa in Igoji West. B, falsely accusing members of the Assembly of changing customary and other nominees for appointment to the CEC. C, illegally instructing customary to usurp the statutory functions of the Igoji West Warrant Retention Enhancement Fund Committee by identifying the persons that would benefit from county bursary funds. D, failing to submit names of the other candidates to the county assembly for approval for appointment the CEC after the assembly injected some nominees. E, the organizing and government to 6 department and 3 CEC members after the injection of some nominees instead of submitting names of other candidates to the county assembly for approval. And F, swearing to appoint to a government and actively work with the rules of the 2022 county elections instead of the newly elected MCAs to steer Lagos within the assembly. Evidence of the governor 1, gross misconduct, 2, gross violation of Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution, and 3, gross violation of Section 10(1) of the Public Appointment County Assembly's Approval Act 2017 is set in the video saved as Annex 19 and Annex 20 in the flash disk presented herewith. The transcripts of the videos are attached as Annex 19A and Annex 20A to the affidavit in support of the motion. Honourable members, this brings a question that has threshold of a vote by 2/3 of the members. That is 69 honourable members of this House. Voting will be done through roll call. Voting where honourable members will be called in alphabetical order, and when so called a member will declare from where he or she sits that either I vote aye, or I vote nay, or I abstain. I now therefore call upon the sergeant at arms to ring the division bell for a period not exceeding 10 minutes. Yes, Leader Majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm raising on a point of order that pursuant to standing order number 31(3), this Honorable Assembly extends its sitting time from 6:30 p.m. until such a time when the business of the day will be done, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is necessary because we are entering now the voting phase, and in case Honorable Speaker, in case our time elapses, which should be elapsed at 6:30 p.m., maybe there are members who might not have taken their vote. Therefore, it is necessary that we extend time, Honorable Speaker, and I wish to invite Honorable Ali to second the motion.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Leader Majority. Please, Honorable Ali, take the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to second the motion on extension of time. As we near the most critical part of this motion, voting, so I stand to second.
Thank you, Honorable Mwendari, the Deputy Speaker. Pursuant the provisions of Standing Order number 54(1), I now propose the question which says that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 1(3) of this Honorable Assembly extends its sitting time from 6:30 p.m. until the County Assembly is done transacting the business before it. And the question has been put, then any member wishing to contribute can catch the Speaker's eye. Yes, Honorable Aurelio Murangiri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to support the motion by the majority leader. Due to the magnitude of the issue at hand, I think we should extend the time for this sitting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Aurelio Murangiri, and honorable members, please be guided that when the bell is ringing, no member is supposed to move out. You can only get in, but you can't get out. Any other contribution of the same? Yes, Honorable Ereja Kimathi.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
From the Ngada Ward.
I'm Ereja Kimathi, representing the people of the Ngada. I supported the motion for the extension of the time to 6:30. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member, the motion is to extend the sitting from 6:30 up to when the House finishes the business. Please be clear. Please be clear.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the correction. I support the motion that we extend from 6:30 until we finish the service.
Very correct. Thank you, honourable member. Any other member wishing to contribute on that? Then, yes, Honourable Kithinji, Arora. Yes, Kithinji, take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Felix Kithinji, Urigi representing the great people of Riru Arera. I beg to support. We extend the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other contribution? Then, being there no contribution, then I call upon the mover to reply. Honourable the Leader of Majority, please take the floor. Thank you, the Leader of Majority. Pursuant the provisions of Standing Order number 54-2, I now put the question, which is that pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 31-3, this Honourable Assembly extends its sitting time from 6:30 p.m. until the County Assembly is done transacting the business before it. We will, as many of our similar opinions, say aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it and the motion is passed. Thank you. Clerk, can we continue? Thank you, honour members. You know, we have to wait until they finish ringing the bell, then we can take the next item. Thank you, honour members. I now give the following directions that honour members. We will now commence voting. Clerk, please take the vote.
Honorable Agnes Karemi Wantai.
I vote yes.
Honorable Ali Mwenda Murungi.
I vote yes.
Honorable Aurelia Murangiri Kiramana. Honorable.
Please put off the mic, Honorable Lady Murangiri.
Honorable Benson Mwenda Kirinya. Honorable Caleb Mutedia Kibuko. Honorable Catherine Kamathi Jeremiah. Honorable Daniel Mokoronia Mekwa. Honorable Dennis Kiogoran DMK. Honorable Doris Gaki Nkonge. Honorable Dangras Mutea. Honorable Duncan Kangana Mereti.
I vote yes.
Honorable Edith McKenna Mugaine.
I vote yes.
Honorable Elijah Peter Kimathi.
I vote yes.
Honorable Evans Mawera Karia.
For the sake of the people of Mitungo, I vote yes.
Honorable Faith Kanan Kome.
I vote yes.
Honorable Felix Kivenji Murigi.
I vote yes.
Honorable Frederick Mburugo Kuchiana.
I vote yes.
Honorable Frederick Mubishi Kirema.
I vote yes.
Honorable Frinda Naitoge Tobu.
I vote yes.
Honorable Gasheri Muthoni Mudhuri.
Napiga ndio.
Honorable Godwin Mutembe Mbiuki.
I vote yes.
Honorable Grace Kambura Thuranera. Honorable Henry Thuranera.
Please, clerk. Honorable clerk, please let's have a repeat of Grace Kambura, and please use the microphone. Use the mic.
I vote strongly yes.
Yes, clerk, let's continue.
Honorable Henry Thuranera.
I vote yes with the capital letter.
Honorable Irene McKenna.
I vote yes.
Honorable Jacob Murigi Muthuri.
I vote yes.
Honorable James Mugambi Mungathia.
I vote yes.
Honorable Jane Rose Ngutamate.
I vote yes.
Honorable Jennifer McKenna Morogocho.
I vote yes.
Honorable Jim Muchoi Domiano.
Honorable
Dionisio, sorry.
Dionisio, yes.
I vote yes.
Honorable John Kithenje Daiba. Absent. Honorable John Muhuna Duranera.
On behalf of people of Mbeu, I vote yes.
Honorable Joseph Maur Nkunya.
I vote yes.
Honorable Joseph Mwenda Ideri.
On behalf of the people of Akede, I vote yes.
Honorable Joseph Njoke Mugambi.
I vote yes.
Honorable Josephat Barrio Ntomwaidia.
I vote yes.
Honorable Josephat Mugambi.
I vote the bill yes.
Honorable Julius Kabera Mbao.
I vote yes.
Honorable Julius Mereti.
Kwa niaba ya watu wa Mawandi ya Mikidori napiga ndio.
Honorable Kawira Dawson.
I vote yes.
Honorable Karemi Kerengo.
I vote yes.
Honorable Ken Mugambi Naibae Igweta.
I vote yes.
Honorable Kenneth Mainge Mutweri.
I vote yes.
Honorable Kionga Joshua Methiaru.
I vote yes. Kaende.
Honorable Lucy McKenna Jackson.
For the sake of good governance, I vote yes.
Honorable Martin Kimathi Muriongi.
I vote yes.
Honorable Martin Kome Itonga.
Yes.
Honorable Morris Ntarangwe Itomito.
On behalf of people of Akrangon, I vote yes.
Honorable Nele Mokami.
I vote yes.
Honorable Nicholas Kenya Josephat.
On behalf of the people of Nyakista, I vote on the affirmative.
Honorable Patrick.
Please, Honorable Muna, the standing orders are very clear. It is either aye, a nay, or abstain.
Mr. Speaker, I vote yes.
Honorable Patrick Kadurima Ntururu.
For the sake of people of Tima West, I vote yes.
Honorable Patrick Muduri Muredi.
I vote yes.
Honorable Patrick Mutuma.
I vote yes.
Honorable Patrick Mwirigi Muriuki.
For the sake of the people of Tunene, I vote yes.
Honorable Paul Damiano Muchui.
Kwa niaba ya watu wa Igoji East napiga ndio.
Honorable Ruby Tonia Nazareth.
I vote yes.
Honorable Ruth Kananu Lemunge.
I vote yes.
Honorable Sarome Kerito Mutua.
I vote yes for good governance and leadership.
Honorable Sarah Gaki Kaberia.
Napiga ndio.
Honorable Secondina Kanini Bundi.
I vote yes.
Honorable Cyrus Medeka Ntomucheke.
I vote yes.
Honorable Simon Kiambi Ngaroni. Okay. Honorable Sophia Kajuju Meme.
I vote yes.
Honorable Stephen Gakure Nchebere.
I vote yes for the sake of all those who have been humiliated by the governor, for the people of Meru who are crying. I vote yes.
Honorable Stephen Kaire Mbijewe.
For the people of Kangeta, I vote yes.
Honorable Harun Guantai Duranera.
I vote yes.
Honorable Timothy Mutweri Joshua.
I vote yes.
Honorable Titus Muredi Mutira.
Kwa niaba ya nafsi yangu na watu wa Igembe East napiga ndio.
Honorable Zipora Gaki Manyara.
I vote yes.
And then Honorable Zipora Kinya.
I vote yes.
Thank you, honourable members. Honourable members, from our records, every member present has voted. However, I will avail the opportunity for any member present who had not been conned or who has not voted to do so. There being none, honourable members, it now appears to me that all members who are present and who wish to vote have done so. Therefore, I now direct that the clerk reads out the result of the vote. Clerk, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The members that have voted aye are 67. Then there are 2 members that are absent. There is no nay or abstinence.
Thank you, honourable members. I wish now to declare the result. And in this juncture, the ayes are voted 67, the nay is 0, the abstain is 0, and those present were 2. Those absent were 2. Honourable members, I wish to declare the ayes have it, and the Governor of Meru, Honorable Bishop Kawira Muswanda, stand impeached with the Meru County Assembly. Thank you, honourable members. Thank you, honourable members. Honourable members, I now wish that we go back to order number 7, that is statement. And in that order, we have a further response that was supposed to have been a statement that was requested that starting further response to statement number 1 of 2022, sought by Honorable Sekondina Kanini Bundi on Wednesday, 23 November 2022, from the Chairperson Secretarial Committee on County Finance and ICT on the status of revenue collection within Meru County. And this statement was supposed to have been brought by Honorable Mutevia Kibuko, Chairperson Secretarial Committee on County Finance and ICT. And in this regard, I want to give these directions on the same. Thank you. Order number 7.
Order number 7, statements.
Thank you, honourable members. We have a further response to statement number 1 of 2022, sought by Honourable Sekondina Kanini Bundi on Wednesday, 23 November 2022, from the Chairperson Secretarial Committee on County Finance and ICT on the status of revenue correction within Meru County. And this response is supposed to be brought by Honorable Kare Mutevia Kibuko, Chairperson Secretarial Committee on County Finance and ICT. Please, Honorable Kibuko, you can take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to give a statement that was requested. but still I'm requesting for extension of time so that we can table the statement, and if you allow me, I'll read. Extension of time to table a response to statement. The Sectoral Committee on County Finance and ICT wishes to request extension of time by 1 month to submit its further response to the statement on the status of revenue collection in Meru County. The time allocated for this not sufficient to analyze the matter and request for further response by the committee. Your kind consideration will be highly appreciated. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I request to read the statement.
Who has written the letter?
Sorry, the letter, it's written by me to the, it's from the chairman, sectoral committee, to the speaker of the assembly.
Why would you be seeking for an extension?
It is the time, because, Mr. Speaker, the time we requested the statement from the finance department, they delayed, and we were not able to get the statement in time. So we were requesting, if at all this house can allow us more time, we engage the person responsible from the finance department. We have not been able to reach them from that department.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Chair, Caleb, you know, these are public documents that are supposed to be given when they are requested to do so. And this one being a further statement, I'll give these directions that the clerk, you give summons to the elected involved to appear in person to the committee on 21st, 12th, 2022, that is Wednesday at 10 a.m. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 9, adjournment.
Thank you, honorable members. This House stand adjourned up to Tuesday, 20th, 12th December 2022 at 10 a.m.